Right, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Waharakah, Kadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And before today at camp, go back to basics, fundamentals, man, the fundamental mentalities that's necessary for this ministry. All right, which first and foremost is humility, man, meekness, right? A lot of the madness you see going on, guys going off and starting up their own camps, and then they start twisting up the scriptures and they start doing madness. All that goes back to pride. You know, they're a bit puffed up, lifted up with pride, and they start going off, right? To avoid all that, you just have to remain humble and understand that you're part of something which is bigger than yourself. It's not about you and your feelings and what you want and your will. And even Yahweh Shai, he embodied that, because when he preached what? According to the will of the Father. He made it clear, like, I come to fulfill my Father's will, meaning the Father was greater than him. And that's Yahweh Shai. But a lot of guys, like this guy, the chief high priest, like this guy, the gorilla Hebrew, these guys come along and they try and make everything about themselves, and then not the whole world and everything, the scriptures has to bend to their will. It's not supposed to be like that. So we're gonna get the scriptures. Yep. Yeah. Let's get all the scriptures and we'll go into it, man.
This is from 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 5. It says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject to one another.
Right. Submit yourselves unto the elder. Now we got elders, man. The apostles and beginning with Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakar, Apostle Arimlab, the elders underneath them. You know, Elder Manatazak, all the elders, man. All right, you know. Then you got elders below them, you know, from the various camps. From brothers know. All right, there's an order. Now, when you come into this truth, you have to respect that order. You have to respect that you're under that discipline through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And those men, right, have been put in that position for a reason. They were put there for a reason, and they've earned being in that position through experience. And you're just a young man. You're going to have your own ideas and the own things you want to do, but that's the whole purpose of discipline. You got to deny yourself and be under that discipline because it's for your own good. And that goes for any walk of life. Any walk of life, when you come in there, you need to listen to the experienced man before you start going about trying to do your own thing. Most men that go on that whole, you know, youthful, prideful rampage always end up coming a cropper, because they don't know nothing. You barely been alive, and you just out there. Okay, you gotta listen to your apostles and elders, man. They know better.
All of you be subject to one another and be clothed with humility.
Clothed with humility. Be humble, man. A lot of guys come in the truth and they're in their mind, this truth is a vehicle for their like exaltation. They don't want to go through the process. You know, let the Lord honor you. Let the Lord exalt you. Be humble and go through the process. They don't want to hold science. You know, they don't want to be a reader. They're looking at the elders and really they're like, I want to be the elder, but not because you want to have the honor of doing that and doing it well and doing it properly. You just want that chief position. You just want the status. You're chasing status because of your pride and your ego. I want to have man look up to me and not knowing that there's a lot that comes with that. There's a responsibility that comes with that. There's a path you have to take to get to that. And that path begins with being humble and getting your head down and doing what you got to do. But guys want to be fast-tracked because they want to do their own thing. It don't work. Now all of a sudden, that's why you want to wear fitted cap. So because you like how you look in a fitted cap,
Yeah, that's fake.
then we got to throw fallout. Then you making up stuff about I'm a Nazarite, that's why I got a ponytail. You start doing goofy shit. Now you want to sell t-shirts with your name on it and have these cool names and
you want to seem more credible than the men that are in the scriptures. You know, how's that supposed to work? You know,
if you'd have you ain't never gonna hear us get into a controversy because on the Passover night there was scantily clad women around, because the apostles and elders, they keep us on the discipline so we don't do stupid shit like that.
He's wisdom, man.
So the ministry can flourish, man. The apostle Gabar taught us about superfluity. You don't need to do extra, because usually when you start doing extra, you get yourself into extra trouble. Doing the extra is a young man's thing. Doing too much is a young man's thing. A man that's experienced never does too much because they know what's enough. The young men are doing too much and they mash themselves up. And like I said, in most walks of life, it's like that. You get the old head that knows how to train. The young head trying to push it. He don't know. Listen, man, you're doing too much. Boom, he gets injured. Why? Because you're doing too much. The old head already knows. Listen, you ain't got overtrain. Even though I was watching one video with Virgil. Was it Virgil Hunter? And he was talking when he was training Andre Ward. Andre wanted to just train. His thing was, I gotta be in tip-top condition. He said, listen, you're at the stage in your career now, because he's been there and seen it, where this is enough. He said part of the battle was getting guy to understand, no, we've done enough for the day. We're not going to increase the amount of miles we're doing. We might decrease the time it takes you to do the amount of miles, but we're going to stick to the amount of miles because that's all you need. You need to perform for 30 minutes, not for 2 hours. You're doing too much. You overtrain and your body will break down. Why? Because he's an experienced trainer. He's older. Most times the trainer is an experienced guy. He's been there, he's done that, and he's seen it. The young man ain't been there and done that, so he just wants to. Come on.
For God resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble.
The Lord ain't dealing with the proud, man. The Lord ain't dealing with you when you get that proud spirit, that selfish, you're the center of the universe spirit. You're that main character syndrome where you're a star in your own movie, lights, camera, action, and it's all about you.
Well, he is, isn't it? The day in the life of it.
Yeah.
He's a star in his own TV program.
You start living out a persona. Well, we don't give a fuck about no. You think I walk around and want people to call me GMS Fair the Most High? That's not my name. I hardly even say my name. Now, the apostle said we should say our name in the video, and then the apostles say that, then yeah, so that people know our names. But that's just for you to know my name. I don't need you to sing praises to my name and yeah, because it's really not about me. I'd rather you give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai than me. Oh, the man's making up alter egos. I'm the gorilla Hebrew. Why? Why do I need that?
They sound exciting.
I'm the gorilla Hebrew. All that just shows you your mentality and what you're doing. That's what rappers do. Like, rappers got their name and then they got their persona, their alter ego that they're promoting in their music. Like, you got Dwayne Johnson and you got The Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't.
And Dwayne Johnson don't sell as much as The Rock. So
and your brand.
Yeah.
Great Millstone is not a brand for us. This truth isn't about Great Millstone or GMS. That's just a name that's used to identify us, man. But it's not really about that. It's not a brand. Oh, let's stick it on a t-shirt.
Yeah. So they like to make merchandise of all of
start selling it, start making merchandise and all that kind of stuff. Pride, all that stuff, it just comes from pride. And now you're starting to put other things before what the Lord wants and what the Lord said to do. ISUPK, there's other things more important than God. Now you're doing your own thing. You've hijacked the ministry, but you're morphing the ministry through your pride into what you think it should be and what you want to do. So you're not really being led by the Spirit of the Lord. You're not being a servant to the Lord and following instruction. You're doing your own thing. You've gone rogue. You gone rogue, man. Selling tickets to the Passover and all. What's the point of all that?
Verse 6 says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time.
The Lord is the one that's going to exalt you in due time, but you got to stay humble and put in the work. And I've seen it, man. Like, you know, brothers don't want you to mention no names, but if you look at the elders that's in Dallas now, the heads of the elders camp, man, they're humble men, and their humility was tested. Not only being humble to the apostles and elders, because listen, you think none of us brothers ain't ever had a stern talking to from the apostles before? You think the apostles you ain't had to get a phone call or yeah, what you doing? And you have to humble down and be like, yeah, you know what? Let me just.
Well, it's at moments like that where the Most High is testing your character, man. That's what it is. That's how you got to see it. For you to remain humble, your character's being tested, man. And it really reveals a person.
Reveals them.
It reveals a person, you know.
Even sometimes having to suffer. A lot of brothers that are camp heads now had to suffer under a wicked camp head. Remember the Chicago, you had Patak, making guys do press ups and all kind of crazy shit. At Dallas, you had what's that nigga name again? I'm a Shabbat Allah. Yeah. And he was a demon, man. But Elder Ariala Yeshawamba were hella humble. But the Lord exalted those men to be the leaders, and you see how the Dallas camp just flourishing under their leadership, right? But they were humble.
And you might feel like, oh, what those brothers should have done is they should have got together and overthrown him and did this and
nah, they let the spirit played it out.
That's the point, right? In time, it might not be in your time when you want it done, but the Lord will deal with that situation at some point.
Yep.
And it's the same issue with King David, or David at the time, and King Saul.
Yeah.
Right. David wasn't interested in taking over, you know, doing Saul and taking his place.
He could have killed him. He could have killed him like 3 times.
But David didn't want
I think,
that, man.
Yeah.
He respected the order.
Yeah.
Even though King Saul was being wicked.
Yeah.
He was still the king. The Lord.
And he killed the guy that killed Saul.
Yeah.
Man said, how did this thou not fear to touch the Lord's anointed? Which shows you a lot about David's mentality, man. It's easy to be humble when you feel you're in the wrong. What about when you feel like you're in the right? Can you still be humble? When you feel aggrieved? And a lot of guys feel aggrieved and then they just throw the scriptures out the window, throw order out the window, everything goes out the window, like Elder Yashawamba says, because they want to get that lick back. Because they feel wronged, because their feelings got hurt. That's not what it's all about. Read that again about you be exalted. This guy want to be chief priest and all that stuff. Man, he's making a mess.
Yeah. Back in 1 Peter 5 and verse 6, it says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time.
The Lord will exalt you in due time according to his pleasure. And even then, the scripture says the more exalted you are, the more humble you got to be, because you still need to be even more humble when you get into that position, so you don't lose your mind and start acting crazy, doing foolishness like some guys did, like Patak, because he was camp leader. They started doing too much, doing the most, power tripping. Always remember that there is one which is in heaven, which is greater than you. There's more than one, actually.
I was gonna say this, sorry, just before you get that. You know, and you might feel like, you know, these guys feel like this when they you know, they get to a certain place in their minds, right? The Most High set them up on the left hand side in the kind of with some type of fame, right? So he's probably thinking, the Lord's with me.
Yeah, because they got a bunch of cheerleaders
But remember, all I'm gonna say is this: remember what happened to Pharaoh. Pharaoh was raised for the very same purpose,
to be dropped down.
to be dropped.
Yeah, even wicked niggas can have cheerleaders
That's my point, right?
and
So
sidekicks.
you might feel vindicating what you've been doing because you've grown and whatever, but just remember there's this other side to that.
Yep.
You know, you've not done things the right way.
Nah, man.
You know?
And like I said, going back into this guy Sakari, we was there. This guy, see, some guys weren't there. We seen the rise of this guy. This guy was always causing contention and problem wherever he was. And he was doing little underhanded things. I was there, you know, doing little underhanded things like he'll pick and choose what elder he will ask the question from, because he feels like that elder he can manipulate. And you know, nah, man, he knows that. But he thought I know the elder he tried to manipulate, but you see, a lot of men don't know that the elder knows what you're doing. And he'd be like, hey man, yeah, man, you know, I'm just gonna let him have more rope to hang himself, and he hanged himself.
But this is the elders always say, man. They've seen you guys 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Many times before, man. They've come and gone.
Try to be slick
first, you know. And through our time in this room, we see the same thing. You know, things similar. You know, we've seen guys that come in and do what they do through the fucking madness.
Come like with a fake humility. Yes, you get them guys that come with a fake humility. But you see what, man? You could act humble or talk humble, but in the end, your deeds are gonna show forth, man. That pride is gonna show itself in your actual deeds and what you do. Oh yeah, you know, double honest to the elders, but you don't respect anything the elders say. That's crazy.
Gaslighting, leading questions, trying to pick elders off one another and stuff like that.
Yeah. We've seen that, man. Yeah. A proud demon, but the scriptures talk about getting puffed up, knowledge puffing up, especially when you learn a few scriptures. Listen, learning and reciting the scriptures doesn't mean you have the ultimate understanding of the scriptures, because the longer you're in this truth, the more these scriptures actually open up to you, even basic scriptures. There's deeper levels of understanding that you might think you have when you're 2 years in, but brothers will tell you, another 2 years, you understand the scripture even more. So relax yourself. Anyway, keep going. Let's get more scriptures.
This is the book of Matthew 23 and 12. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased.
Yeah, you come in this thing and your aim is to exalt yourself, man. Gain followers for yourself and give yourself grand titles. If you think that's what this truth is all about, man, you've already lost. This ain't about that, man. All right, when you come out here and teach, you got to remember that you're a servant. You're coming out here to minister. You know, even to the babes that's just coming in, you're here to serve that man, to teach him, to feed him. That's a minister. That's what it means to minister, to serve. You gotta come with that humility, man. The fame will come, the honor will come, but the most important thing is doing your job correctly in the sight of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, serving our Lord, man. And that's why the main thing is what? The doctrine is correct. Make sure that our doctrine is the Lord's doctrine. No matter how you feel about it, I got to teach what is in the scriptures, what is the correct thing. I'm not going to twist up the scriptures for my own benefit or for my own feelings or to gain more followers, because I don't want the followers are not mine. It's the Lord's.
Well, what did Paul say? You know, you're like Paul, but Paul said he did everything for the elect's sake, not for his own sake. You know, and the same with Yahushua, he come to do the will of his Father, not his own will.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, and we're all meant to come in that same mindedness, not here to do our own biddings, man, to do it for our own selves, right? This is a commandment that we gladly follow, man, because it's purely just the right thing to do. This is what is asked of us as Israelites, man, as men that have been chosen out of the world, right, to follow the land wherever we go.
Even the scripture to humble you, the scripture says what? I have chosen you, you have not chosen me. So the Lord has chosen you to be in this truth, and you should never forget that. Because as easy as you think you got this thing, it's as easy as you can not have it, because we've seen it. We've seen guys totally bug out. And it's always the proud dudes. This guy Patak, let's go back to this guy Patak here. When I used to watch this guy Patak, this guy was like a super Israelite, man. The man was knew all the precept, man, knew all the breakdowns he learned from the elders. Yeah, knew all the breakdowns. He got so proud, he was doing a video one time, and he was so proud in teaching, he was like, if you could prove me wrong, I'll suck your dick. I was like, whoa. I was like, yeah, yo, that's proud, man. What do you mean? What's that all about, man? Because he was getting in his pride, right? And then what happened? He ended up getting ousted. And then over a process of time, he ended up started teaching that black only Israelites, and then he started teaching about heathens could be saved, and all kind of just leaking all over the place. And the Spirit of the Lord ain't with him. So where was all that? I thought he was this mighty guy in the scriptures. Where's Amashaba Allah at? He was a mighty man in the scriptures. Nah. Whatever he had, the Lord just took it away from him, man.
It's Romans 11 verse 7. It says, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, God have given them the spirit of slumber eyes, that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare. Right? So they were once proficient in the scriptures, man.
Yep.
One time proficient. But the Lord decided, look, man, I don't want this guy.
He's proud.
You know, because many are called and few are chosen. You know, the Most High called many guys into this thing, and they thought they were the shit, obviously.
And that's why
I resisted the proud.
And now hold on, the chief priest. I gotta do it, man. Get this is Deuteronomy 22, 28. The rape thing. The dude's so proud, right? He's meant to be the chief priest, no nonsense on the law. But when it comes to the scriptures on the so-called rape, yeah, he couldn't handle it. He started butchering the scriptures, man. He started butchering the scriptures. I thought you're meant to be the chief high priest. If you're meant to be the chief high priest Levite, your job is to just call the law like it is. They say justice is blind. You gotta say what it is. Not try and try and bend the law and try and twist it around to suit people's sentimentalities. The law is the law. Is black and white. Listen.
See with Zara, you got that soft spot for women. You know
what's going on?
So we ain't staying true to the scriptures.
So how are you just missed the law? Well, you didn't break that down, right? Can we get that? Is it right, Deuteronomy?
Yeah.
Let's get that.
Deuteronomy, I mean 22 and 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin,
right? If a man find a damsel which is a virgin, meaning not been with no man. Okay, go on.
Which is not betrothed.
Right. Why does it say not betrothed? Because basically a betrothal and a marriage are considered the same in the eyes of the law. It's a contract. So if a woman is if you lay with a woman that's betrothed, yeah, that's adultery the same way. If they had consummated the marriage, you've broken an oath there, a contract which is punishable by death according to the law. Now we're not in the time of meting out corporal punishment. We're not in that time of running around putting people to death. I'm just saying that's what's in the law, right? That's what you do. So when you see these movies like Coming to America, when the woman's engaged and the whole movie is about my man coming in and basically stealing a man's betrothed, that's wicked. And they do that in movies a lot. That's a whole system they set up in movies. And then what they'll do is they'll purposely try and make the guy that she's marrying look like an asshole to justify what he's doing.
Nothing can justify.
But that's not justified.
Doesn't matter who the guy is.
You know the guy with the jerry curls and all that. That whole film is actually about adultery, because she was betrothed to the guy.
But then the whole premise is like, oh, but he loves her and all this kind of stuff. Like love is an overriding thing. Like love can override the law. No. It don't work like that. It don't matter how she feels or how he feels about the woman. But you need to stay away from that woman, man.
Yeah.
You know, And that just goes and showing up with these Christian man. Hey, love can lead you to do wickedness in your own doctrine, and that's why you can't just promote love. You have to have the balance, man. You have to have things right.
Well, love is the keeping of the commandments, man. That's what the scriptures say.
That's directly breaking it.
So yeah, Bun coming to America. We ain't coming to America. I'll tell you what is coming to America, man. Thermonuclear destruction. That's what's coming there. Yeah, let's carry on with this law. And you see, once you shed all that pride, man, you could just deal with the scriptures as it is, and you're willing to take the heat because you're humble. So listen, man, this is the Lord's thing. So we just gotta do it like that. I ain't gonna try to twist it around for my sake, because you don't feel right to you. Go on,
and lay hold on her.
like lay hold. Now the word there for lay hold is the same as when the scripture speaks about if you got a gluttonous and rebellious son, you lay hold. That's basically grabbing someone against their will. That's what it means to lay hold. Yeah. So let's paint the picture. The man find a damsel that's not betrothed, right? And he lay hold of her. He arrested her. He grabbed her. Go on.
And he lie with her.
And he had sex with her. Now, whether she consented or not, it's not an issue. The issue is she's unbetrothed. He took her and then he had sex with her. Okay, what happens then?
And they be found.
They be found, meaning they find where she at. Like, yo, where's she at? What's going on? And this is actually something you could research, because you see, we research these things, and you know, certain times that's all you need is a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of to give you the understanding. The term, if you want to break it down, is known as bride kidnapping. This is an actual term that you could look up. Now, we're not saying, because you know you gotta break it down for simpletons. Just like we're not saying like go super Jamaican and run out in Soho, run out upon them with the AK and start shooting up batty boys everywhere. It's funny that it ain't funny. If I bring out the scriptures about the batty man them for dead, yeah, no one jumps up and says, oh, because you know automatically we're not teaching you to go down Soho where all them flaming men are and just run out on man with a zombie knife and start chopping them up. And that goes without saying that when we read the law, we're telling you it's wrong. And this is what would have happened to them under the judgment of the law. It's still wrong, but we don't have the power to bring that judgment. Neither should we, really, because we're not really in the time of running around giving out judgment. Because if you're going to start giving out judgment, you got to give out judgment everywhere is due. And then you might find out that same judgment has to come on you. The last time you popped the next man's woman, you're gonna put your head on the chopping block too. Because if we start talking about death penalties, you worked on the Sabbath, that's a death penalty too. So that's why we're not really in that time of running around putting people to death, because then you're gonna find your head on the chopping block real quick. However, we got to say what it is. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Just accept that. But when it comes to this, it's GMS, they're running around doing that. So how can they not accuse us for running around killing gay people then? We're not doing that right. This is known as an ancient thing. You have to have knowledge. Don't be ignorant. This is called bride kidnapping. What's bride kidnapping? A man would go and basically take a woman with intent on marrying her. The intent was marriage. That was the intent. Because for whatever reason, man might be in a situation where maybe his family is unsavory, or whatever the situation may be, and he might lose his mind or whatever, and he just goes and takes the woman because she was just out there unprotected, and that happens. And let's really talk about this in reality. You know, sometimes you have to not be sensational. Do you really think here in the ancient world that's how every man got a wife? They were just running around grabbing up. So you think like you went into an Israelite village, yeah, there's some woman there at the well in the middle of the village, and you could just run up and run off with her, yeah, and then all her brothers and her cousins are just gonna stand there like, yo, what's going on over there? Oh, he's just grabbing up my cousin. Bro, men's are gonna be onto you like, yo, but What are you doing?
And bearing in mind, they all know each other in the same village or what.
Yeah, if it was a case of that was just what everyone was running around doing it, then why were man even paying prostitutes then? Like, why are you paying them? Like, just go grab her up and do your thing in it, and then so that just shows you these dudes' mentality. Yeah, they just go a little bit too much with it. All it's saying is you had situations where maybe a guy couldn't get a wife or whatever, and they decided to do that. They decided to force the issue. Well, if that happened,
That's how you do it.
this is how you deal with it. We're not saying this is what you have to do. This is a difference. This is what you.
Because all of us have got women, right? None of us had to go do that.
We're not saying this is what you. Oh, GMS a rapist. Bro, relax yourself. No one ain't telling you that's what I want to do, or yeah, that's what I really want to do. I lay in bed all night thinking about just running up on a random gal and just no, bro. But you see, when you're thinking about this scripture, you're thinking about what's that thing called? Crime investigations, special crimes investigation units. Like, no, that's not what this is talking about. This is talking about bride kidnapping. This was dudes taking a woman for the purpose of marriage. All right, going up. Steve's been living in the West for too long.
And the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel father 50 shekels.
So this is set dowry. Now, you now have to, they'll set the dowry. 50 shekels is a lot of money. So now you got to pay the proper penalty, right? Which is the dowry, because every time you take a woman from a man, that man needs to be compensated because it's an exchange in property. And there's a reason for that too. And obviously, that can normally be negotiated, because with Laban and Jacob, man spent 7 years getting a wife. And you know, one of the biggest issues with today's society is it's too easy to get punani. It is. Punani is really for men, real men that got their shit together. Punani ain't for everyone. And the problem in this society is, man will be like 14 years old getting punani all the time from random dirty bitches, and you ain't ready. Next thing you know, you ain't no man. You don't know no shit. In the ancient world, you weren't just it weren't like how it is today, where man are going out on a Friday night and just grabbing up, getting punani like it's nothing. The ancient world, like, bro, you had to work and put in work, and then even then you had to get that money, and then you got a wife. But in the process of all that, by the time you got a wife and did all that, you was a fully functional man that can do your thing and you can have your family. It ain't like today. A lot of these young men are destroyed today because pussy's too easily accessible, and they're not even men yet. That's the truth. We live in a society where pussy's too easy to get. There's no discipline on sex. You're not entitled to vagina. Vagina's not an entitlement. Really, in life, you're supposed to earn your position to reproduce and get punani. Some men shouldn't be reproducing. They shouldn't be getting no punani. You need to go do some work, my friend. It's true. You need to work on yourself. I'm just saying it like it is. Don't think that the ancient world was like how it is today, where every man was getting a piece. Well, some man weren't getting none. I'll tell you straight. I got to go work. All right. So you had to compensate now because of the situation and the fact that you forced this marriage. It's got a penalty of a set amount that you have to pay. So you couldn't even negotiate it down. No, it's got to be 50 shekels. Now, if it was an agreement thing, you might get away with 10 shekels, 15 shekels, depending on what it is the father wants from you. You know? But in this case, it's 50 shekels. Right? Go on, huh?
Lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekel of silver, and she shall be his wife.
Yeah, that means it's confirmed, right? So the whole transaction is complete, and she gonna be his wife. And guess what? He want that woman. And the Bible tells you this, that a woman can be with any man. In the process of time, they're gonna be all right. And one thing you do know is, if he went through all that, he wanted her. And the reality is, women want men that want them. Yeah, women want men that want them. The worst thing that for a woman to feel is unwanted by a man. I'll tell you that for a fact. That's the worst thing for a woman to be with a man that don't want you. That's why they bug out when you going and getting another woman because they think he don't want me no more, and it hurts them deep down to the core. I don't want me. He don't rate me. You want to piss a woman off, yeah? Don't get hard, man. She's pissed. She's like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? She want man to have that rise towards her, man. Women love it, man. But what's happening here is a marriage. He's not getting beaten. He's not getting 50 lashes. Yeah, he's not getting put to death. There's a marriage occurring here, and that's all the apostles was bringing out. And man's blew it out of proportion, got super emotional, didn't take the time it takes to digest it and to understand it, and went straight to destroying the scriptures for their own sake. But this guy and this guy Sakari did that, and he's meant to be the chief priest. Right? He's meant to be the chief priest. Well, why didn't he break it down in the scriptures? And even Polite broke it down to him. And he's a demon. Yeah. Oh, it's sure. And we're not teaching people to go do that. First of all, even in the scriptures, the most of the way that man's got wives in the scriptures was either through a betrothal, an engagement, or they enticed the maid. There's not that many occurrences in the scriptures of a man just going and doing that. Only with the Benjamites you really hear. It wasn't something that was done all the time. And 50 shekels is a lot of money on top of that. What did Jacob do? Did Jacob just go on and grab up and duck out with her? No, a man said, listen, and then he made an agreement and did 7 years to get one wife. These times, man are going out there in a club and getting a girl for a shot. They're another 7 years older to get another one.
You think like, Jacob didn't really want to do that, but that was the deal. That was the deal, right? If he had the option to just take Geller and duck out, he could, but that was his uncle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's his uncle, bro. So
like,
do that.
Sometimes you gotta put life into a real life situation. Like if you was really in a village like that, living with everyone, is that really the best course of action that you would take? No, but it could happen that someone decided to do that, and if it did, there's a law there to make sure that things don't get out of hand and get mashed up out of proportion.
And that's because actually, man, don't want to go mad for that, Yeah.
And that's why man would disappear for a while.
But this is the thing, because the father would be angry. Someone's gonna be angry.
Yeah,
someone's no doubt. Because someone's gonna say, "Oh yeah, that's what want to happen to our daughters or whatever." Some man's gonna be angry, innit? You're gonna be angry.
But the scripture said, "Keep a sure watch."
But this law prevents you from doing wickedness. Because if you got the guy in your hands now, you might want to put him to death. Because most guys react that way.
Yeah, but that's what the man said. Oh, what would you? Man was in the barber shop. Man, yeah, I'd kill him. But that would be murder. Then would.
No. Now your head's on the block too.
Now your head's on the block because you're not following the law.
You know? So this is why it's there to keep order and keep peace. There's a structure there. If this event occurs, this is how we're going to deal with it.
Yeah, remember, like more time we lived in.
Because you think about this, because you know what happens in the different areas of England, you have these family beefs, innit?
Yeah.
And it just gets way out of proportion, man. People dying left, right,
a lot of the law is about making sure that doesn't happen. That's why you got the whole thing of if one person murders someone on the other side, you're supposed to deliver them up and all that stuff. You got the avenger of blood and all that, so that things don't get out of control and out of proportion, man. But these guys don't remember. We lived communal, man. You knew all the men around you, man. Like and like I said, man, you protect your women, man. Within the confines, they'll always be around men that you know. It's not like today. And another thing is, even today, right, women face a lot of so-called sexual assaults because they're just out there. They're out there in strange situations, unprotected around strange men. It weren't so long ago that women didn't go nowhere unless there was a family member or close family friend there. It weren't until women's liberation where violence against women, especially sexual violence, went off the charts because serial killers traditionally targeted prostitutes because prostitutes were the only women that no one gives a fuck, no one ain't looking for. Jack the Ripper. Like even now, a lot of serial killers target prostitutes. Filthy whore, You know why? Because they're prostitutes out there all time at night. No one don't care about them. No one ain't got no thing. But a man's wife back in the day wouldn't just be out in a place where it wasn't people they know. Now, since women's liberation, women started going there and going here and end up on the other side of London. No one. They know one person in the whole place. Totally unprotected. Coming home alone, drunk. Yeah, the predators have a field day with them situations. You're getting banged in outside next to the bins. Ain't nobody there to help you. No one's that concerned about you. Because naturally, when you're around men that know you, you're gonna be under a certain level of protection because they're gonna be looking at you like, okay, she over there. All right. She all right. Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna go. No. You ain't going home alone. That's how it is. It's the reality. But these guys don't live in reality. They live in their own little emotional realm, man, because they're in their own Marvel universe. Anyway, is there more on that? And this is just an example of his pride. But he mentioned the chief priest.
So say, because he has humbled her.
Because he humbled her. Once he's done and had sex with that woman, right? He's imprinted on her. She's really ruined for the next man anyway. Because really, a husband and wife, right, is supposed to be a unique connection and union and experience, man. How you gonna have a wife and the next man dealt with her wicked stuff?
Well, I didn't say, man. She become flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. You become one.
You've joined. You know how intimate it is. Man's got his penis all up inside you, man. For a woman, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays we live in a goofy world where dudes think that they got something special. How you got something special when enough man had been sweating all over your woman, like had her all the way open, flipping, jamming her fucking head down into the damn thing and ramming her through with no remorse, yeah? She done been through all that and you think you're special or she has some special connection. No, she don't. You're not special. She's been there before, she's done that before, she was acting just the same. And she got man that dashed her away and she's still thinking about that man. Oh, maybe we could have worked that out while she's there with you. Especially nowadays where these women have access to the top dons. She done been with 6'4" rich dude that done wine and dined her and done every damn thing under the sun to her in the bedroom. And now she's with your short, broke ass here. And you think she don't think about that dude left her. She tried to call him and she got blocked. Which means he the one dropped her, like, you know what I mean? So that always is with her. That's why the society's so messed up. A lot of men are walking around with women that they got 2-3 dudes in their past that if the guy came back into the picture, they'd be like, oh, because really she wanted to be with that dude. That's fucked up. You ain't supposed to have no wife and she don't have that experience, blood. She's supposed to know you. So you the man. She don't know no better. She don't know nobody else, man. But that's whorism for you. So once the man done humbled her, it's better for her, better for everyone if you just sort the marriage out and let it be done. Make an honest woman of her. Because next man ain't gonna really want to deal with her on a wife level, knowing that next man then split her open straight raw.
Look at her the same.
Innocence is gone, man. This is reality, man.
That's a problem that you can't get over right now, man, because they've done so much dirt and they're expected to find a good husband, man. You ain't gonna find that. They ain't gonna look at you like that, man. That's why you're really ashamed of the numbers you put up, man. Really, yes, you don't want to talk about it.
Man have done, man have done dealt with wicked stuff. Has you throbbing, man. Fuck out of here, man. Anyway. And you could be pregnant.
Yeah.
And you could be pregnant on top of that. That's ruining the whole thing, man.
But back here, Romans 11.
Pregnancy don't bend your ass out of shape, and then now, man. I mean, when you done it, you all right because you're connected to that woman. But really, do you really want the next man's baby mama, man?
It isn't up to me.
You know what I mean?
It's not up to me, man.
Bitch,
Never sure.
you ain't getting the fresh thing, man. Listen, man. Sometimes you gotta buy the pre-owned, but it ain't the same. It's never the same. You get a pre-owned, something that's pre-owned. It's never the same as when you get it fresh and you get to. There's something about taking it out of the pocket, the packet, and you get to rip the layers off that thing, man. It's different. Tell me it ain't different, man. It's different. When you get in it second hand, them hand me down things, man, it's like,
And shoes in it, fix your foot.
yeah, like, you got that fresh smell, that fresh look. Now, when you wear it down, it's yours. So you have that connection to it. Oh, I like this jumper. I've had it for years. But if you had to get that jumper after the next man had it for years, you wouldn't like this old ass funky jumper. Yeah, man, it's crazy, bro.
Back in Romans 11 verse 9 here, that David said that their table will be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Right, so there's certain hurdles that man you just fell over. Man. The Lord's had you with the scriptures and that, but the Lord's taking understanding away from you, man. It's had you have an adverse reaction to it. It's prevent you from understanding.
Because you wanted to wear fitted caps, and I can't get over it. It's so childish, man. Like, you come into a thing, you're part of something that you see is beautiful, no matter which way you slice it, yeah? To be among the brethren in this congregation is a beautiful thing. Beautiful brothers. Like, yeah, you have situations that happen now and again, and brothers sort it out between each other, but it's a beautiful thing. In terms of teaching the word, it's beautiful. It's beautiful in terms of pushing out this work, like doing the work. It works and it's beautiful. And you want to upset all of that because you want to look good with a fitted cap on. You just said, you know what, to hell with Paul and all that. I want to wear a no, think of it.
And the thing is, right, like, if you want to wear a fitted cap off camera when you're not teaching, that's up to you, isn't it? But no, he has to. While he's teaching, he has to have it.
On. Right. So all, like, think about the mentality you have to have. Even if you wanted to wear a fitted cap, even if you thought it was okay to wear a fitted cap, just for the sake of peace and doing the work, you don't need to wear the fitted cap to teach the word. Just be like, okay, I just won't wear the fitted cap. No, I need to make a big deal about it and kick Paul out and come on, man. Dudes are proud, man.
Hey, but this is the thing I was covering during this week, one of my videos, right? That these guys, and not just Alazar, just guys like that in general, really, right? They got that rebellious spirit, man. They got that Cain spirit, that know what the right thing is, but just don't want to do the right thing.
Self-will.
Because they want to do what they want to do, man. Cain knew what was an acceptable sacrifice. I'm sure Adam would have told him that, because Abel knew. But he's like, I don't have to do that. I'm just going to give him this, and that'll be good enough. But it wasn't. And you got rebuked. Cain didn't like it. He didn't like it. And what did he do? He went OTT with his madness, with his wickedness. He killed his brother, right? It's the same with LSI. They got double down in their wickedness, in their foolery. That's the spirit of Cain.
They don't want to be humble.
They don't want to be wrong.
And you can't be wrong because now you've built yourself up as the grand chief.
You can't get
It's part of your ego that you're always right now. So you have to be right, Can't be wrong. I could be wrong. I've been wrong a lot, man, in my life. Hey, life has broke me down, man. I could be wrong.
And that keeps us humble.
You know what I mean?
Being wrong keeps you humble.
You can be wrong, you can make mistakes, you can get punched up.
It happens, man.
It happens, man.
You could be what is it like? Because you had guys trying to be very intimidating. What could we do? Yeah, you're just there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You got to embrace your humanity. You know what I'm saying? You just got to realize, you know what, man.
We're not here to look big and mighty before everyone that comes up to us, man. Bro, hey, sometimes you can't do shit, innit? All we're here to do is teach. We're not here to fight the world in a fight, fist to fist, So we're not out here concerned about how we look. Oh, them men are cowards. Fuck all of that, man. Fuck all of that. Does it matter? Are we doing the work of the Lord? Yes, that's all that matters. How we look to you and to the outside people who couldn't give a shit. You're not that important. That's just what it is, man.
Corinthians 8 and 7. But when you sin, so but when you sin and so against the brethren, and you wound their weak conscience, ye sin against Amashiach. Wherefore, if meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no flesh while the word standeth, lest I make my brother to offend. Yeah, sometimes even you just you know what, man, this guy's gonna get offended, so I'm just not gonna do it. Sometimes Sometimes you gotta be like that. Just be humble, man. Put something before yourself in it, before your desires. Man. Some things are not necessary, man. Some things might not even be a matter of law, but if the elders are asking you to do it, then just don't do it. It's not that important. Oh, I don't want no brothers doing certain things on Facebook. Oh, that's not in the law. Yeah, but was it that important then to just be obedient? Sometimes you just need to be obedient, huh? Yeah, just be obedient, man. What's the reason for this, man? It's not necessary. It will be alright, man. But guys just want to do their own thing and get lifted up with pride, man. And it's gonna be to their destruction, man. Remember humility. You can't go wrong with that. Did you still have John? Was it John? Yeah. Yahweh Shai is a prime example of that. Even Yahweh Shai followed the script, man. What's wrong with you guys? He was perfect. And even he stuck to the script, man. He'll just go doing his own thing. Restyling. He start making up his own prophecies and that. Go ahead. Yeah. So because John 7, 16. Yahweh Shai answered them. What did he say? It's about Sakari. Says something about Russia's gonna rule for a minute. Huh? Yeah, man. When the scriptures say that America's the hindermost of the nations, and this is what happens, man. You go out there, and you start doing your own thing, and then inevitably now you need to differentiate yourself. So you start making up your own breakdowns, and then it gets goofy. He's teaching that America, when America goes down, and Russia's gonna rule for a little while, or some stupidness like that. Bro, America's the last kingdom before.
But America's destroyed.
Yeah.
When America's destroyed, your house is going to be.
Yeah, but I know that, brother. But it's not me. I didn't fucking come up with it. But that's what happens, man. This is exactly what happens. You start doing your own thing, and these things happen, man, because you gotta make it your own.
Maybe they can do unit camp for Sean and
Yeah, you
all
get,
these bugged out doctors, man. It's not together, innit? Fuck it.
and then unity camps is again vanity, man. Going out there trying to get validation. It's main character syndrome.
John 7 and 16. Yahweh Shai answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but is that sent me.
Right, Yahweh Shai himself is like, listen, man, this ain't my doctrine. This is the doctrine of my Father. I'm here to deliver. And so we gotta have that same humble spirit. That this ain't my doctrine. So you have to be particular about it. It means something. It existed before you, and it's gonna exist after you. I'm gonna say it that way. You're part of something which is greater and bigger than yourself, way bigger than you. This truth is bigger than me as an individual, as a person. So I need to take it seriously. I can't just start twisting and changing it up to suit myself. Who am I? Before I was born, before I was, from the beginning, this thing was set in place. This is the gravity of what you sign up for, you choose to be a part of, man. You got to put that first and not yourself. That nigga lucky that he really in this Hebrew Israelite thing, because if he was acting like that in these gangs, like how he wanted to be, he'd probably be dead already. Because that's how niggas act in gangs, innit? They do all this stuff. You study the history of gangs, that's why gangs always splinter and always fall apart, and that niggas are constantly getting killed. Because one thing that we know that happens in these gangs is that there's always a guy that wants to be the man, innit? And is looking for that opportunity to be the man. Then the splits happen, and then the guys that used to be friends start shooting each other, and
if any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine.
Right, if any man shall do his will, you got to submit yourself that I'm coming into this truth to the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. I'm coming to serve. I'm not really coming into truth to be served. yeah, we are Israelites and we're going to rule in the kingdom and that's part of our faith. But when you come into this ministry, you come into this ministry to be a servant, to serve Yahweh Shai, right? And to minister unto your brethren. You know, you're sacrificing your time. Yeah, the scripture says give diligence to make your calling and election sure. But for instance, being here right now is a great benefit to others to teach this word.
So 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3 it says, even as I please all men in all things, not seeking my own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved.
Not seeking my own profit. That's a beautiful scripture. Read that again. That's a beautiful scripture. And that's humility, not seeking my own, but you really out here selflessly for others, man. And that's why this scripture calls this the labor of love. Because you really out here serving the Lord and teaching the word to the best of your ability to its perfection for the perfecting of the saints to benefit others. And not just here because I want man to call me elder and I want man to give me all this acclaim and I want to do this and to do that. Nah, no. You shouldn't even be thinking that way. You should be excited to just do the breakdown and do it right and do it properly. And if you make a mistake, you should be, oh, fine. Hey, the water Yahweh should for correcting me so I can do it right. Because this is your work. It needs to be done properly. It's like if you're building you're part of it, because this is what we're doing. This is the greatest construction there's ever been on the face of the planet Earth. You're part of something that is going to be eternal, which is the kingdom of heaven, and it needs to be built correctly. You know, 1 second, it needs to be built correctly, right? So imagine you were building a castle, but you're putting the bricks in wrong, and a man come and tell you, oh, you put that brick in wrong. That whole structure is not going to be right, man. What are you meant to do? Oh, no, F you, man. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. No, you should be like, right, you're right. If that's error, no, I need to redo all that and do it properly for the sake of the building, because this building's going to be forever. That's what's more important. What's not your shame because you did something wrong. The most important is that we get it right for the purpose of the building. So the building is sound. But you don't want to look like you was wrong, or so now, no, it's fine. No, man, it's not fine. You don't know what it's It could go that way. No, it can't go that way. There's a way that's prescribed in the schematics, and it needs to be done that way. We know cowboy building over here. But what about my reputation? Yeah, well, bro, can't hide your reputation. It's better to be the one that admits they got it wrong and correct it than to be the one that don't admit when they're wrong, and then your reputation completely destroyed when it's built and then it collapses. Then your reputation is completely gone. Sometimes you have to know when to admit your fault and make the correction. And I'd rather hire that guy than the guy that never admits his fault here and just does things wrong and tries to hide it, cover it up. Them botch jobs. Hey, or if you go, if you work with a proper, because I know certain Montserrat man, old school Montserrat man, like my uncle, man don't do botch jobs. If he do a job for you, he's going to correct. If he starts doing that job and something is out of line and it's not correct, he's not going to botch it and try and make it correct. No. I know it's going to cost me time and I've got to take that money onto myself, but I made the mistake, rip it all out, we're doing it again until it's done properly. Because that's how it needs to be done. I'd rather hire that guy than the guy that's going to, we made a mistake. Oh no, but if we can make it look like it's all right. So, I can look like I always get it right. No, man. And that same thing goes with this truth, man. Same thing goes with this, especially with this truth. You have to get it right. If you got it wrong, you need to go back to the drawing board and do it correct like how it's supposed to be done. There's no shame in it. Specific measures and instructions, man. So, a lot of these guys, they can start to see that the MOTV is the implantable microchip, but that pride, man. Because if I come out and just say that these men were right this whole time, it makes me look bad. No, actually, it don't make you look bad. Because it's not about you. It's about the truth. you'd get more respect. Like, listen, that man is able to accept his fault and get it right. That's a respectable man.
Right. Save your congregation, man. Giving them
Yeah.
the right, giving them the right,
Give you the right information. Why would you want them to die just because you don't want to
even if it's at your expense, let's say you get destroyed at the end of it, but you could save your congregation.
say the
That's
right
what you're
thing?
supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed
That's
to
what
do.
you're supposed to do, man. You know, what was it? The shepherd have care of his sheep, man. You're supposed to sacrifice yourself. If that's the case, if that's what it costs, that's what it costs. You know, you need to make your wrong
Them
to
man
save
are
everybody
starting to
else.
see it, man. But a lot of these dudes, because of the pride, they know. That's how it's what it is. Even the whole Israelite foreigners thing, there's guys that can blatantly see now, yeah, they're gonna be Israelites that look like the other nations, but they just don't want to admit it because of the pride. Because they don't want their ego to get damaged. They don't want to be wrong and GMS was right. That means your whole mindset is in the wrong category. You lack meekness and humility, man. This is the Lord's doctrine. Get the Lord's doctrine right. Forget about how it makes you look. You could be wrong. Salakia, we're moving on.
It's from 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9. It says, for we are laborers together with the Most High Yahweh. Ye are God's husbandry, and ye are God's building. According to the grace of God which is given unto me as a wise master builder, which is Paul.
Yeah.
I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed now how he buildeth thereon.
With no bullshit, which is superfluity and trying to do too much, man. Stick to the schematics, man. Stick to the procedures that's been working. Don't add on to it, man. The apostles told us, listen, we're not even gonna have no grand, too many camps linking up and doing all these Passover, man, because it turns into too much pageantry. No, we're just gonna have small, humble Passovers. Okay. And it ain't done no disservice to us. What's the problem with that?
You guys like to watch parties.
Yeah, well, you know what it is. You can have that grand party, and then you can have all bare man, paws sucking you off, man, and praising you like Nate. You can have all the man, oh, look, you riding on your horse, and the great Nate, and then all man just praising you up and then sucking you off, man. Get a couple extra wives off that too. That's really what it's all about.
So, for other foundation can no man lay, then that is laid, which is Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
Yeah, you are not the star. Yeah, how was that? Let's get that in Numbers 24. The star shall rise out of Jacob. Yahweh Shai is the protagonist. He actually. Hold on, let's say, if you finished on this.
No.
Okay, let's finish this, then we'll get that. Then we'll get the point of who the star of the show is. You're not the fucking star, man. You're not the protagonist in this movie. You're like supporting acts.
Way down there.
You know what I mean?
Way
You're
down
the stars. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not the one the camera's following all the time, bro. You're in and out of the scene. You know,
Verse 12. Now, if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest, for they shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. And if any man's work abides which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. And if any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? And any man defile, and if any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
how do you defile the temple? By teaching erroneously, by not doing the correct doctrine and not doing this thing the right way. That's how you defile the temple. Now, if you teach a guy the right way and they ain't right and they get destroyed, that was on them because you taught them the right way. You showed them the right way and they didn't take heed. Like you, Sakari, you were taught the right way, but you went away from that way. So if you get destroyed, it's not on the apostles and elders. It's not on them. That's on you, because they tried to teach you the correct way and put you up on game. Same way you should listen to a man like Elder Yashua. Oh, you call him Zombie Wamba, man. You, bro, like, and then another thing, you show your true colors because you hate the men that's still in Great Millstone that show that level of humility. And you trying to be like, ah, they little niggas. So basically, what you're trying to say, and this is really, and the man that's with him, yeah, don't even realize he's actually shitting on him. His mentality, if you're not the head guy, you're really a little nigga. If you really break it down, that's really what he's trying to show you. And you guys at Hakar, which is the perfect sidekick, he's Robin. Basically, Sakari only can be Batman. He's the main character, and he's letting you know that. What did he say? Oh, all you niggas under Tahara are little niggas. So what he's basically saying there is, if you subject yourself in the order under someone else, you're not really no one. You're nobody. You can be derogatory towards that person.
So he obviously felt that way, being underneath
You
someone.
don't want to be underneath no one. That's why he's the chief priest and he's running his own thing.
Unverified.
And so then how does he look at the guys that's underneath? They're little niggas. That's his mentality. Because he has to be the main guy. He has to be the center of attention. He has to be the star of the show. And you can see that that's who he is. His main character syndrome. And these guys will sit there clapping. It's like, hold on. They can't see the psychology of that. He only respects in certain degrees Elder Tahar because he's at the top. But all them other man that's not the top dons, yeah, don't worry about them, man. Don't worry about them. Bro, that shows your mentality. But that's all right. I'm fine being a little nigga if that's what you want to call it. As long as I make it on that chariot, I'm not really too bothered about what you're bothered about, trying to be the man. There's already the man. His name's Yahweh Shai. He's the man.
So Surah 13 and 20. As the proud hate humility, right?
That's what he is. The reason he really don't like Elder Yashawamba is because Elder Yashawamba is humble, man. And he's playing his role within the body, and he does it with humility, man. It's one of the most humble brothers you can ever meet is Elder Yashawamba, man. And to call him Zombie Wamba, why? Because he's always there to lay down that correction, involved in certain councils and doing the job that is given to him of the Lord under the elders, man. And because he plays that position and he ain't there to just defend himself and act like a damn child, and that's why he's disrespecting that man, because he's not acting like you, but he puts you to shame. He puts you to shame, man, because you're just a bad kid, man, a rebellious youth, man. I'm trying to think of a movie character that represents him, man, and I will think of one. Just one of them rebellious dons that couldn't play his role. Loki. It's like Loki, man. I just wanted the throne, you know what I mean? Doing too much. Don't be like that, man. Do not be like that, man. Humble yourself. That man, a little niggas. And like I said, you can call me a little nigga. I'm not even going to be hurt by that, because what you're trying to do is attack our egos. But I don't care. I know I couldn't be in the position of the apostles and elders. I'm not even the leader of my camp, and that's getting me stressed, man. And when you got to do with take it's stress, man. And even Moses said, like, when he had to be the leader of all Israel, he said, he said to the Most High, kill me. Because niggas like that, they want the prestige. They don't really want to deal with the actual responsibility that comes with that. Everybody wants to be king, but they don't want the responsibilities that come with being king. They just want the perks. Just like these funky ass women. All these women today want to be wives to rich, high value men. But then when you ask them, well, what's your responsibilities in that? They ain't got them. They just want the perks. That's not how life works. They want to do like the mafia. You know, the mafia, like, the way they make their money is they get put on the salary, but they don't do that. I was watching a video, like, if you watch Sopranos, that's how they do. They'll get put on the books for the company as a consultant. And they get like a salary. It's a way, that's how they're getting their money, so they're legal money, but they're not actually doing anything in the company. It's a hustle. That's what these people want to do. They want to get all the benefits, the prestige and the status, But when it comes to the nitty gritty and the responsibility that comes with it, they don't want it. Can you imagine all the stuff the apostles have to deal with? I can see that. I'm like, boy, man,
So many camps.
that's a lot, man. That's a lot. You know what I mean? I'm cool where I'm at, man. Let me just try and get this right. We just sit down. You know what I mean?
Because most just want to keep it simple, man. It's
Yeah,
real,
man.
man. You know, Jake love being simple, innit? But some men are in positions where they have to do more.
Oh, it's a
You know,
lot,
and
man.
that's what it is, man. And you have to step up to the plate when it's called upon. That's just what it is,
They
man.
thirst for that power. Anyway, yeah, the chief priest, man. Anyway, go on. Is that it on that?
That was it on that. You got
Coming-
something?
Yeah, the one I
Okay.
called for over there in numbers. Yeah, Yahweh Shai is the star of the show, man. Never forget that. He made the sacrifice for everyone, including you. This is his.
Right, but you don't want to acknowledge him as
Oh,
as your
that's why
Lord.
they say they don't want to worship Yahweh Shai. Yo, these niggas is crazy, bro.
Yeah, he really is the main character.
He's the main character.
Really
That's
the
what
main
he is. His main character. It's this new generation, and he's not the only one. The whole entire internet is this narcissistic. I'm the main character in my own story. That's all over the internet. That's why they're all over there taking pictures of themselves and videoing themselves, and they're never self-aware. They always have a perfect view of themselves or trying to portray a perfect view of themselves online like they are in a movie. Trying to seek that validation. It's just a weirdo culture, and he's part of that. I'm the guerrilla Hebrew. I'm the chief priest. I'm a Levite. And he's like taking it too far. Like, bro, chill.
I can't even prefer if he's up the tribe.
What did he say? Only a Levite? Did he say something about only a Levite can rebuke a Hebrew? Bro, what the fuck are you on? What the fuck? What's this guy on, man? I found out he was a Levite and bugged out, man. Why? Because how can I use that to make myself the main character?
I would love if he wasn't a Levite, you know.
Hey.
I'd love him to find out he wasn't actually a Levite.
But guess what would have happened if he was Judah? It
Same
would have
thing.
been, oh,
If you say
well,
Judah,
well,
Judah,
I'm Judah, so it would have been something else. Man.
It's not apart from Judah and all this stuff. All of that.
No matter what try, he would have found the angle. Man, me Issachar, he'd be like, listen,
Yeah, yeah.
Saul's my cousin. I'm related to Saul, so I should be running this. You can't judge me. Oh, we got the eyes. It'd be something, man. You could read the stars, so you can't. It always be because he's a protagonist, isn't he?
The book of Ecclesiasticus 3:18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself.
The greater you are, the more you gotta be humble.
So is that something you witnessed with Sakari or Elazar? No, you don't see that at all, man. His head's getting bigger, you know?
Not
all-
literally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The way man's head is, it's like man's on steroids, bro. It's like,
Thou shalt find, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. Many are in
and all he is that he found someone, a sidekick that buys into him, which is Hakar. And the thing is, Hakar thinks he's a bad man but you're just a sidekick Negro that you bought into a demon. You're enthralled by a demon. So your spiritual discernment is non-existent because you've attached yourself you're no different than them grown-ass men that were following a teenager into a gang. That's what they did. Grown-ass men following teenagers into a gang. It's like, bro, where's your discernment? Why are you signing up for this? You following a youth man into some Bloods and Crips? But you would have done that. And you're doing it now. You're following a guy that is blatantly just a rebellious kid. And you're riding for him to the very end. Which, we can respect the loyalty, but your loyalty is misplaced. But you really think you're the guy. What are you doing? This guy is wearing fitted caps in the videos, and now you're wearing the fitted. Anything Sakari says or does, you're gonna ride with it.
Rip up all the scriptures.
For him. And it's foolishness because he's the chief priest. Yo, man, yo.
many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek.
And that was the apostles and elders, man. Mysteries are revealed unto the meek. And like I said before, man, I don't really like to talk too much about this, but I've been around the apostles and elders, and I've seen how they operate with people in the world. I've seen how they operate among the brothers. I've seen what gets them upset. The apostles and elders, bro, they hate when people are not brotherly. They hate when people are not brotherly. They're extremely humble. I've met them. They're extremely humble men. They're not bought into themselves. They're not smelling themselves, man. I don't know what to say. It's just true. I had the privilege of meeting them, man. They're like that for real, in real life. They're not. It's not act. They showed me how to be like. Yeah, that's how you got to be. That's why I try and be like that among the brethren, even in the world, man. Try to be humble like that, man. Go on.
For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly.
He's honored of the lowly, man. The Lord is dealing with the lowly, those who have that mentality, like they're just here to serve and do their thing, and then the Lord will raise them up. And like I said, there's lots of guys that are camp leaders now that they weren't always camp leaders. And brothers have been through things, man. I don't want to mention no names, but there's been brothers that's been suspended or been through certain things, and they humbled themselves and kept their head down, and they're like chief men in the ministry right now because they're humble. They didn't bug out. They didn't, man, just do what I got to do. And then in due time, the Lord will justify you and put you in a position that's worthy of you. Go on.
Number 24, I'm start from, straight to the point 17. I shall see him, but not now.
They must be talking about Al-Azhar. Fucking dude's a monster, man. His ego is out of control. And he ain't the only one. Nate's got that same thing going on. Nate's got that same thing going on. That's why he's riding around on the horses and all that stuff. Right? Johanna had that same thing going on. Proud dudes, man. Come on, but Humphrey took it to the highest level. To the highest level there could be. Another guy that took the so-called Elder Ricard, GOCC. He's just proud dude.
I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob.
Star out of Jacob. That's talking about Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the main character. He's the star. He's the guy that's in Israel, man. Just relax yourself, man.
Downplay his involvement in all of this, man.
But now to give himself some extra credibility. Yeah, well, in the kingdom, the Levites are still gonna be the priests. And bro, relax your fucking self, bro.
Say you shall be a kingdom of priests. That means all the
But that's
tribes.
because he's a Levite. Now, if he weren't a Levite, I guarantee he would be saying all that. It's just that's what main character syndrome does. You try and morph the whole world delusionary, so it's all about you. To put yourself as the main guy, you're the main one. It don't work like that, man. It don't work like that at all. Sometimes you gotta take a back seat, man.
There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and it shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy all the children of Sheth.
Yeah, that's Yahweh Shai. Can we get Colossians 1? No, Yahweh Shai is the firstborn of every creature. Like it's all about Yahweh Shai, man. It's just bigger than I can keep saying it. This thing is bigger than you. Yeah, your salvation is important, but remember that this ministry is still bigger than you. there's an element of selflessness, self-sacrifice that comes with being in this truth. That comes with being part of a body. Listen, when you go to war, this is what people don't understand about war. In war, you're not an individual, you know. The purpose of fighting a battle in a war is for you, the body to win. You might listen, you could be dead, but man. Like the reality of war is certain times man had to throw bodies in there and you weren't gonna make it out, but it was necessary for you to get a chop a proper man down and get chopped down for the whole man to win. You weren't going home. And you had to be ready to know that, listen, if I die today, that's not okay. If I gotta go down, if we need to break that line, and I gotta die breaking that line so the rest of the man them can come through and finish the job. Selflessness. That's how it is in war. War isn't a bunch of selfish individuals. You can't win a war like that because nobody then wants to take the risk. You got to let him go forward first.
Because they can't serve their own interest, man. Because it was their own interest, they wouldn't go. They wouldn't go to war, man. Because they don't know they're not going to come back, man.
That's the reality of war. Listen, when you're a general, you gotta do. You know that, like, certain of your men ain't gonna make to do that. Whatever to take that fortress. Certain of your men are gonna have to die to take that fortress, and the man them know. What? So are those guys losers because they died in the midst of the victory? No, they're still winners. They sacrificed themselves for the good of everyone. They just say, hey, hold on, man. You go do that. Nah, fuck that, man. I'm the one that's capable. I'm gonna go get put in that work here, and if I die, I die, man. There's an element of selflessness. What about the guys that couldn't come? You're fighting for them too. The old, the sick. You might be fighting for other men. You might have no kids, other men's families, man. There's a selflessness that comes with being part of something. That's why the scriptures speak about loving thy brother as thyself. There is a selfless aspect. Even in the scriptures with Yahweh Shai, doesn't it speak about when he washed the apostles' feet? To show them, like, this is how I want you to be amongst each other. There's a selflessness. Even if you're a ruler or you're a camp leader, there's a certain element of you're serving the guys that you're meant to be ruling over. There is that aspect of this truth, man. That takes humility. Guys don't think about that. The only thing they want to think about is the fact that they're up there and being the don, the main character. There's a lot more to this, man. What up? Colossians 1:15. Who is an image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature? That's Yahweh Shai. He is the word and the will of Yahweh, the perfect word and will of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. That's Yahweh Shai, man. Perfect. The firstborn of every creature. He was the first spirit created. He has preeminence over all others, man. He's the star that is in Israel. He is him. He's goated. All right. By him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth. And even Yahweh Shai was humble and meek and lowly. So what's your excuse? You know what I mean? What's your excuse? You just some big-headed don whose dad was probably a homo. Don't think we forgot about them videos. Hilarious. Who are you? What's your pedigree? Why are you so proud? Where'd you get the confidence from? Visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principality or powers, all things were created by him and for him. And for him. He's the star. That when you're the main character, that's how things are. Everything wasn't created by me and for me through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. I'm not the star. I have a position where I'm getting a few perks, but I'm not getting all the perks. I'm not the guy that's at the head of it, man. I'm not at the center of it. You have to understand that and live like that. It's not all about me. This ain't a movie and the camera's just following me through my journey.
hell, man. Like we're fucking lucky, man. Because we're not even like it's the Howard Shai that obtained it obtained all these things, man. That he's sharing. He's
Joint
sharing
heirs
with
with him.
us. We're heirs with him. We're not. He's not heirs of us. You know. We're even lucky to be in this position. This is a very privileged position we're in, man. To the fact that we can be, that we're going to share what he gave,
He's
his
the Lord,
kingdom.
the Lord's putting crowns on our head.
Yeah, you know. And but yeah, but niggas think this. I guess it's about them.
But even doing this work, he didn't say,
They ain't
I'm
got
not,
shit.
I'm not knocking on the door and the man letting me in. I'm not the one supping with him. It's Yahweh Shai that's supping and when we go out here and do the work, it's not us that's like opening up a man's brain and he's understanding and getting his truth. It's Yahweh Shai. We're just tools that he's using. We're servants. That's why you can't pick and choose who believes and who don't believe. Sometimes you can even get frustrated. This guy ain't getting it. Yahweh Shai ain't frustrated. If you want some man to get it, they're gonna get it. He opened them. And that's the difference. What's the difference between me and you? Yeah, man. These are principles, man. But these guys, they never spent long enough. Like I said, from the beginning, he never changed. He's not changed even unto this day. He needs to really meditate on what this truth is really about. Caught up in his own stink, man. What
Revelation 5 and 9. And they sang a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seal thereof. For
Oh, you
thou-
know what? Let me say this. That main character syndrome, like I said, it affects men and it also affects women. That's why a lot of these women can't come into this thing. Because in this world, women are raised up narcissistic and have a main character vibration about them, thinking that everything is about them. That's how the society makes it. So the man is there to serve them and their life and their aspirations and their delusions. The man is just there to play a role like an NPC to provide that. And so when they meet the men in the Lord and we're like, it's not about it. It's just it crashes their whole brain because they got that main. Look at just go on social media. The main ones that's out there living their life like a movie, like they're a star in a show. I want a high value man. He's gonna be earning 1 million. No self awareness. They don't, they're just reading it off like it's part of a script, like it's just something they're entitled to because
They make up their own value. And
yeah, like they're acting like they're Sarah Michelle Gellar from Sex in the City. They're the main character, and all their friends, because women are like that, all their friends are just there to agree with them and be there for them, but they don't have to be there for their friends. They don't have to be there for no one else. The characters are all supporting characters for you. Your husband is a supporting character for you. He doesn't. Just revolves around you. A lot of these women, like you get women that want to have children just because of the way they look, like they're an accessory. I want a mixed race youth just because you can just walk around with the youth like a handbag. Like the youth still serving your, you know what I mean? Like it's just narcissists, man. Absolutely narcissistic behavior. And again, that's why a lot of them can't keep quiet and they can't have it be told. It's not about play your role. They don't want to play a role. The only role they want to play is the main character. Me, and my feelings, and my goals, my life, my truth, my this, my that. This is my universe, my Marvel universe that I'm in, all on my own. Yeah.
But just like that, you're living in a realm of fiction, man.
Yeah, but no one's necessarily that much of a main character unless your name's Yahweh Shah. Everyone is literally a part of something that's bigger than themselves. And we've lost that as a people. We've lost that, and I speak about that, the network of care, understanding that you were always part of something bigger than you. You were part of a bigger family. Sometimes you have to make a decision that was for the family's sake and not just your own. But this world teaches you that all your decisions should just be for you. Well, it's my life. Well, it's my this and it's my that. Sometimes you'd have to make a decision for the good of the whole tribe. You'd have to make a marriage for the good of the whole tribe. Yeah. Like, sometimes you got to do something for the good of everyone else. And if everyone acts like that, then everyone gets what they want as collectively. This selfish, narcissistic way of life is just is sickening, man. And like I said, like these women, that's what they're under. Don't get with no woman that would got main character syndrome, always taking videos and everything's about her and what she wants to do and da 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 da. And you're just like a character in her film. Forget that woman. That woman is not gonna. She's not gonna do nothing for you, man. And when you don't provide the the delusionary lifestyle that she wants, she's gonna go find someone, which they ain't no one, that's gonna provide her with that delusion.
But she thinks she's worth it.
Yeah, because she's Sarah Michelle Gellar in Sex and the City. She's, you know, she deserves a prince, but she ain't a princess. The whore, no self-awareness. That's what you see. That's why you could go up in a video with 8 kids from 10 different baby daddies and demand that you get a high value man that earns $1 million. That means you're not even self-aware enough to understand that you're not worth that. So what
I
do you
mean,
do?
you might need one to get you out of that fucking predicament. you gonna need one of those, but you ain't gonna
Who
get
do you
one.
think you are? That's a fairy tale. You're in a that will happen in a fairy tale, not real life. But anyway, let's keep going.
But this, some Titus chapter 3, sorry, yeah, Titus chapter 3, verse 5. It says, not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy, he saved us. Right? According to his mercy, we are saved. You know? So we're very fortunate to be in the position that we're in.
Well, but now he's pushing the law, the law, the law. Yeah, the reason he's pushing the law because he's like, again, it's that ego to think, yeah, of this, it's something I'm doing. It's me. I'm perfect. I'm keeping the law. I'm a super Israelite, so I'm keeping the law perfect, and that's why I'm going to be saved because it's me. It's me. That's what it is. It's like instead of like, yo, I'm trying to keep the law, but it's Yahweh Shai. You know what I mean? The Lord has blessed me with it. Because remember, if you have faith, it's a gift.
You don't.
Yeah.
You can't eat,
Yeah.
you can't eat the whole roll. You can't.
Remember
You
that.
just eat the whole roll.
We can't even take credit for our faith. You can't even say, "Oh, I'm faithful because I'm a." No. Actually, the scriptures say that it's a special gift of faith. So no matter which way you slice it, it keeps you like, yo, damn, like it really is all the Lord. No, but when you're saying that your works is it, and you keeping the law perfect, what he's doing is trying to live up to that chief priest, guerrilla Hebrew, super Israelite image that he's projecting out there, which is no different to these women on social media who are projecting I'm a 10, I'm this, that, and the other, when they're really not. But they got all the makeup and the filters so they can live that movie. But it's not real. He's not real. He's not a chief priest. He's not a super Israelite. He's not the guerrilla Hebrew. He's not the main man. It's fake. It's a fake persona. That's a movie. Right? You weren't a Nazarite. That's not why you had a ponytail. Okay? I know you shouldn't be wearing fitted caps. And you don't look that good with them on anyway. So it's not necessary. Go on now.
Isaiah 64 and 6. But we are all but we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as a filthy rags, and we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away.
Yeah, that's why it's Yahweh Shai and the sacrifice he made, and us believing that he has the power to heal us is what it's all about at the end of the day. That's the principal thing, that belief, that faith. But he's trying to take that away and make it about you. So he's taking away Yahweh Shai's place. And he doesn't even realize he's doing that because of the pride. keep God's laws. No, you don't. You don't keep the law perfectly. What are we doing here?
So to finish up the Titus chapter 3 says verse 5, not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy he saved us by the washing of regeneration and renewing of the Holy Ghost, which he shed on us abundantly through Yahushua Mashiach our Savior, that being justified by his grace.
We're justified by his grace. We're not justified by the law. We're not justified by the law. We're not. Stay humble, man. Hey, Anthony Joshua, stay humble. Okay? Don't the minute you start thinking that you got it all figured out, yeah, and you're all clean and your works are that just those squeaky clean, you've already lost. You've already lost, man. You lost. Pride have taken hold of you, man. It's like, bro, you really think you that guy? Yahweh Shai was the one that was on earth and kept the law perfectly, which is the lamb without blemish. You think you did it? You think you're doing it? I think he said we're already. I don't know, because sometimes I don't follow it. I'm pretty sure he was trying to say we're already under the new covenant. So it's that brother. Guy's out of his. He's off his nut. Yeah. Them dudes are Arkham Asylum, bro. These dudes. Anyway, go on now.
This is, verse 7, that being justified by his grace, we should be made heirs according to the hope of eternal life.
The hope of eternal life. And we hope that our names are written in the book of life and the Lord have mercy. We humble ourselves and do the work. And guess what, man? Sometimes, obviously, you have to have the faith that the Lord is going to deliver you because you're earnestly trying to do it, yeah? But I pray that I am sincere sometimes. I'm like, you know what, man? I hope I'm not faking it, man. I hope that I am sincere about this thing. You know? That the Lord would just have mercy on me. And it is a great mercy, no matter which way you slice it. Like, sometimes I look at it like, listen, like, if I got destroyed, man, I couldn't even complain. You just have to be like, all right, you know, that was the will of the Lord, and I just weren't right. I pray the Lord have me be right. It's him. The Lord can heal me. The Lord can make me right. Put in me a right spirit, oh Lord.
It's someone that Alizar wouldn't believe that he should be destroyed for any reason.
He's a chief priest, you know.
He's perfect, right?
He's Levi.
Yeah. So he's got special priority.
Well, even Yahweh Shai can't judge him because Yahweh Shai is not Levi.
He got priority pass on the chariot. You don't know about him.
This guy is a demon. He's like, only to argue. What's wrong with this guy, man? Anyway, go on.
When the Romans here, Romans 7, the Western man.
Yeah, let's get that. Because Paul was extremely humble. And Paul kept the law more than any of us because he grew up in the law. So he kept more laws than any of us could say. And more learned than any of us could say. And he was like, oh, wretched man that I am. Even he understood, man, that he'd fallen short. That he'd go off sometimes. But the chief priest is like, yeah, then we just keep it perfect. Man, it's mad. And all the things that Paul went through, man, the Lord used Paul greatly, man. And the guy turned around now, some little pipsqueak that ain't done even 1% of what Paul has done, and trying to dash out Paul's writings because he wants to wear a fitted cap.
You've got to look at it this way. You know, Paul did a lot of evil to the church, right? Before he was brought into the truth. And so the Lord had a large portion to kind of make up for that. You know?
Suffered.
Yeah.
Paul suffered greatly,
you know? And even, you know, the Lord refused to hear him at certain times, or not hear him, but to deal with these afflictions and stuff like that.
But then Paul, even though he said you got to give diligence and you got to do the work, he understood that even with all that he had done according to works, it was through the mercy of the Lord why he was being delivered. He didn't put where it's my work, so no. It was still down to the mercy and his faith in the Lord. It's still down to the Lord saying, yes, I accept you. I accept you. Humility, man. Humility, meekness. The meek shall inherit the earth, man.
I understand what that really means, man, and embody it. And we all need to meditate on what true meekness and humility is, man.
Right, it's Romans 7, or even verse 14. Right, so we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. But that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But what I hate, that I do. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto God that it is good.
Yeah, there's a scripture that says, "Blessed is he that hunger and thirsts after righteousness," because you desire to be made perfect. And that's what we all should be. We have godly sorrow for the things that we do wrong, and we desire to be perfected in Yahweh Shai. And we look forward to that day where the Lord is going to, all the demons that trouble you and all the mistakes you make will just be done away with, man, and you just operating on a perfect level. But we desire that, but we acknowledge that we're not there yet. And then we know the Lord is the one that can do that. He has the power, not us. He has the power to transform us like that. And that's what we push, man. That's why we push Yahweh Shai.
Verse 17 says, Now then it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me. But how to perform that which is good I find not. For the good that I would, I do not. But the evil which I would not, that I do. Now if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. For I delight in the law of God after the inward man. But I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin which is in my members. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death?
How shall I deliver us from the body of this death, man? And that's why we stay faithful, you know, and we look to him and we ask for him to give us strength to keep on this walk, to stay on the path which is towards perfection, which is in this ministry, man. Because there's a path. You ain't there yet. We're walking.
And he goes on to say, Paul says after this, is I thank God, Yahweh, through Yahweh Shai, our Lord. That's who we're thankful for that. That's how we were able to achieve these things. You know, that's why we give all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. It's not about us and what we're able to do as an individual. You know, it's all down to the Lord, man, and the sacrifice that he made. You know, that's what it's about. Without that, we couldn't achieve shit. You know, we'd be imperfect forever, man. It wasn't for the Lord. You know? Hmm?
Revelation 5 and 9. And they sang a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seal thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to Most High by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation.
That's talking about the Israelites, because the Israelites are scattered among every tongue and people and nation. It don't matter. When it says every, it means every. Because yeah, we know that the Israelites, you know, the main populations of the Israelites, you know, Mexico, you know, Brazil, South Central and North America have got a lot of Israelites. But among every people, there's going to be Israelites. Every people, no matter where you are on the planet, there's going to be Israelites scattered among those people. It could be Iran, be Syria, you know what I mean? It could be, like we discussed last week, China, Japan, Australia. There's Israelites scattered among them. And guess what? They don't know that they're Israelites, so they're familiar with the people they're living among. So they're considering themselves to be Somali, or considering themselves to be Ethiopian, considering themselves Eritrean. Eritrean. We got a brother in the camp that's Eritrean. We got brothers in the camp from Zimbabwe. Yeah? From different places. because there's going to be Israelites scattered among them. That's why it says out of every kindred and tongue, because they're going to be speaking the languages of the places that they're born. But through the Spirit of the Lord is going to bring them back into the fold. And that's through his power. It's not through our power. We're just teaching it. It's the Lord that's actually going to do it. It's, as I always say, it's not our job to go around and say that person's an Israelite, that person's not Israelite. I could be wrong or right. It doesn't even matter. What can't be made wrong is the person being the Spirit of the Lord dealing with that person to believe. Hey, because guess what, man? I mean, we only do it for edification's sake. But really, the only people that matters if they're Israelite or not is the elect. And what's really going to separate the elect from everyone else isn't whether they can dance or sing or we like them, you know, or dunk, because that's what they say, or anyone you like or not. What's really going to separate them is if they believe. And then they get beamed up on a chariot. So that's why the most important thing is for us to just teach the truth. The Lord wants us to teach that, yes, there are going to be Israelites that look like other nations. Yes, there are going to be Israelites that speak other languages. We have to speak that truth. And in speaking that truth and putting that spirit out there, that's going to allow for the ones who the Lord wants to bring in to come in. And when they come in, I can't say nothing about it. I'm going to let the Lord do his work, because this is his work. It's not for me. So when you see ISUP going, oh, that guy, bro, that's not your job. Your job is to teach the word. If that man believes, that's between him and the Lord. Oh, no, but you're from Nigeria, so you can't. Oh,
Only Israelites can get this. So saying, you know, saying must not add up
no,
there,
hold
right?
on. Let's say he's not Israelite and he's pretending. Okay, I don't know, but guess what? The Lord knows. So he's not like he's gonna make it on. Like if you get an Edomite, right? Let's say an Edomite decides, well, I'm just gonna say I'm an Israelite and say I believe. Okay, so when them thermonuclear missiles start dropping out the sky, right, and the angels are collecting the elect, you think they're gonna fake it? Like, oh yeah, like, nah, man. You think the angels don't know? The Lord knows those who are his, and the Lord will reveal a man. Hey, the Lord reveals niggas when they ain't right. So why wouldn't he reveal an Edomite and a heathen? He revealed you, Sakari. He revealed you ain't right. So why wouldn't you know what I'm saying? So that's part of understanding, and a lot. That's why vocab alone likes to focus on the carnal things. Well, how do you know? I don't need to know. Even if the Apostle Paul would say, yeah, I think he's a Jake. Oh yeah, he's a Jake. But
It doesn't matter,
this
really.
thing is not really about us going that person, that person, that person. Really about us just teaching. And who the Lord picked, because we can't pick who's in the elect. We can't pick who's going to believe. We can't pick who's going to keep believing.
What does the scripture say about the angels are going to sift?
Yeah.
They're going to sift, right? They're going to, because they got the guest list. You know, they know who's on the list. You know, if you ain't on the list, you ain't getting in.
So do I lose sleep? I'm not going to lose sleep over no individual. That's up to the Lord whether that man believes or whether he continue his work onto the end. That's up to the Lord. All you can do is pray for a man. But it's the Lord that's going to really do everything. And again, that goes back to humility. It's not all on me as a man to do everything. It's on me to do what the Lord has given me to do, which is teach this word. So I don't bent out shape. Oh, you guys got Edomites in the camp. Well, how do you know that guy's not Israelite? You're just saying that because you can't tell. So you're just like, well, he's an Edomite. Instead of just saying, no, let the Lord deal with it. Because if he's just say, look, if he's an Edomite, the Lord's gonna get rid of him. How about you use spiritual power and pray to the Lord? This guy's an Edomite, get rid of him. Oh no, we can't do that because then it's on the Lord.
No, but I want him out.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes let the Lord be in control, man. Not sometimes, all the time.
You control if you like it or not.
Yeah, like, you know. But we understand why guys have vocab alone. That's why he wants DNA and all, because in his thing, it's all about being sure. I don't need to be sure. The Bible tells you our God is a God of knowledge, man. My power knows all things. I don't need to know all things. So I don't need to go through a list of names of every person on the planet and say he's an Israelite, he's not Israelite, he's an Israelite, he's not. I don't fucking know, man. I could be wrong. I don't know this guy. I could say, oh, this, you know, yeah, guy could be a Jake, you know. He got the spirit of a Jake.
But really, what's really important is who believes and who don't believe, you know? And that's what we hang our doctrine on. But yeah, we're gonna show examples of guys that's got the flavors, and the Lord set them guys up to be those examples in the spirit. Like Bruce Lee is an example in the spirit. That's why we go to those examples. Okay, but I'm not gonna go out in the streets and get he's an Israelite, he's an Israelite, he's a oh come on.
Yeah, let's start with Root 5 and verse 5, right? It says, Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east, and behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east, right? That's the whole span of the
And the
west.
children is physical children.
Yeah.
The children of Jerusalem are physical seed lines, man. Not no. See, vocab wants you to believe it's just the children is political or something. No, it's actual descendants, man. The Lord is dealing with races of people. Hey, let me put you up on something. I don't think you might understand it like vocab. God created the races of people, so that's how we know he's dealing with race, because he didn't just create one people and call them humans, like how you want us to view the Bible. Oh, the Bible's about mankind. No, it's not. He said he separated the seed of Adam and he gave everyone their own destiny and their own heritage. You cannot say the heritage of Moab is the same as the heritage of Israel, because there's different promises and different prophecies. Now, all Israel has the same ultimate destination in the spirit, which is the kingdom, which is promised unto Israel. You can't say that the Lord is going to include Moab in that. Moab have their own thing that the Lord would entail for them. So in essence, the Lord is the one that created and separated the races and gave them all their own destinies. I mean, we could talk about Edom's destiny. What's Edom's destiny that's unique to Edom? Even the Bible dictionary says that Edom was the only nation that was not afforded any mercy from the Most High. So the Lord does deal with race. He deals with connecting spirits to specific spiritual seed lines. The Lord does that. And being born of a seed line has meaning according to what is written towards you, because it can make you eligible and ineligible for different things. Now, people don't want to accept that because they've been programmed, even though the real world don't work like that. We know that in the real world, nepotism is the way of the world. Go ask the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers whether you could get in the club. It don't work like that. In the real world, your lineage matters. Who you come from, and it matters. The man that's making the TV programs trying to teach you that it doesn't matter who your father is. They don't operate that in their real world, in their real life. Even if you go into Hollywood, there's a lot of nepotism in Hollywood. All these men are related. You need to understand that. When Prince Harry wrote his book, it's funny because my woman was listening to that Prince Harry book and I was looking at her sideways. Well, obviously there was a reason for that right now. Yeah. Harry said when he was born, Charles called him his heir and spare. Right? Why? Why is he the heir to Prince Charles? Why? Why is Harry the heir to Prince Charles? Can we take a guess? It came from his balls. That's why he's the heir. It's not me. It's not some random dude in Peckham somewhere, is it? He's the heir because he came from Charles's balls, relatively, right? And he's a spare because man said his organs. He's the organ donor. Did you know that? Yeah. He's spare because he's the second son. If Charles ever needed organs, it would come from Harry. Yeah, so that's why they call him the heir and spare. Right. The book's actually called that, the heir and spare. He's the organ donor for his king dad. Yeah. You have to be of the lineage. Let's say the Rothschilds, right? What's his name? Is he dead yet? David the Rothschild. Not his dad. Evelyn. Yeah, Evelyn died? Yeah. Oh man. Right. So could I just walk up into the office when they were doing the inheritance and say, yo, I like Evelyn, I believed in everything he was dealing with.
I want some of that inheritance. They'll be like, bro, you're not in the will. You're not in the will. You're not in the family. What's going on? You can't just put yourself in there. So it's the same thing with this truth. You can't put yourself in there. That's how the world always works. Lineage matters, man. Now, if you want to work in McDonald's, then lineage don't matter. That's the
They're the only ones that fucking inclusion, fucking rules, inclusion rules and shit.
And you know what proves the Most High deals with lineage is that how are you able to be a priest in Israel? You had to be a Levite. So what if you was a Issacharite, but you really studied the law? Didn't matter. Now, how were you able to go into the Holy of Holies? You had to be of Aaron. So that shows you the Lord deals with assigning certain things to a seed line. He said, look, Aaron, you and your sons, this is the job you're going to do. This is your inheritance for this time. So that shows you the Lord deals with seed. What about David? To sit on the throne of David, could anyone do that? I rest my case. So the Lord does deal with seed lines, but vocab alone tell you, oh no, it doesn't matter. When he said to Abraham, his seed, Abraham didn't know it was talking about spiritual.
Now, what guy's gonna do a deal on that, man?
Talking
What
about,
guy's
man.
gonna do it? Like, oh, what about my sons? Oh, don't worry about your sons.
But then,
It could be anybody from
but then the
anybody,
Lord made a
anywhere.
miracle to produce Isaac from his actual physical seed.
Up in age.
This is the madness. If it was a case of it doesn't matter about the physical seed, there was an opportunity to prove that because he had his loyal servant who was loyal. He didn't say, oh, the guy was trying to scam Abraham. Bro, what's his name? The help. What was his name? The Abraham servant. And it was his trusted servant. Hey, the Lord, if he wanted to run away, he could have run away. If he was one of them guys, when Abraham gave him the money, to get Isaac a wife, he would have ran away with the money. And the journey he took, Eliezer, obviously he would have had a couple of men with him. Don't think he was rolling on his own. He would have had a couple of them daggers with him, because this is real life, right? But it's still a treacherous thing, going out and traveling to places you ain't been before. You might get run up on by random dudes. He was a faithful servant. He was obedient unto Abram. Abram gave him an important job, sent him with the bag, and he came back with the wife. Right? And Abraham trusted him so much and said, listen, he could be my heir. He's like, listen, I don't even he could be the guy to inherit. That's how much, and that shows you it's not really about merit, because he was a good man, Savannah. Can we read about that servant? There's no record of that servant. The Lord saying no because that servant wicked and evil. He just said, nah, like, it's gonna be from your seed. The Lord could have said, oh yeah, like that would have set the precedent right there. Yeah, he inherited it because he believed and he was faithful. It takes more than faith. You also have to have the seed as well. It's not enough to be a good boy.
So this is from Genesis chapter 15, verse 1. So after these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision, saying, fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Lord, wilt thou give me what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless? The reward is he going to have? There's nothing even up in age, So what's really a great reward? How's that going to work?
Yeah, we're showing you men fought in them days more of legacy and more towards their children and not just selfish about themselves, which is all this society is all about. This whole society is all about being selfish, man. Me. I was like, yo, like, whatever you give me, I want it to go to my posterity. I want to build something like family and all that good stuff. Yeah.
So what would thou give me, seeing I go childless? And the steward of my house is this Eliezer of Damascus. Abram said, behold, to me thou hast given no seed. So the seed was it could be no heir. And lo, one born in my house is mine heir. So the only person I can really give it to that's really of any, is this guy here. He's not even of my seed, right? And so the Lord could have just said at that point in time, well, okay,
Listen, when you said born in the house, that would mean that Eliezer was actually born. He, he must have been. That means Eliezer probably grew up with him as being a servant, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So technically, you could say, "Oh, he's adopted servant." And, that's what they try and say, innit? No.
I think obviously said adopted sign.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
All right. It says, verse 4, and behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir.
Yeah, man, this son ain't gonna be your heir. But that wasn't that the opportunity for the Lord to prove that the seed don't matter. That would have been the opportunity, right?
Could have
there.
gave it to a good man.
What was wrong with that as Eliezer?
Gave it to a good man. One that was raised up like a son, even, you know. But no, not him, right? Because the Lord wanted it specifically to be a lineage.
Oh, the Lord even sent angel to let him know all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Lord went in on it, man. The woman didn't even have a period, but you know what I'm saying? And the Lord made it happen. That's how much He wanted it to be that way.
So it goes on, this shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels.
So He said when Abraham said that to him, Abraham didn't know.
Oh, stop it, bro. No, it's just his own bowels, man. Right? From thy own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth, and this is, you know, the promise reiterated to Isaac, reiterated to Jacob, the same thing.
So but then all of a sudden now, it's like, oh no, it's got nothing to do with the bowels. It could just be any random Don. Any random Don can just come along and yeah, he's the seed of Abraham. No, the seed of Abraham was Isaac and then Jacob. Right. And that's clear, crystal clear in the scriptures, man. It's a physical seed. Now, to live up to that, then you got to spiritually be like Abraham. And that's what the scriptures is talking about. Like, it's not enough just to be the physical seed. Now you need to live up to it by showing the faith that Abraham showed.
That's why there's an elect.
That's why there's an elect. That's why I said, if you believe you are the seed of Abraham, ain't saying like, oh, but if you're Eliezer, because then Eliezer believed. He believed and trusted in Abraham. And he got no bullshit. He got a job, man. Which is nothing wrong with that.
He didn't get a portion of the promise.
That's what the heathens are gonna get. Their inheritance is to be a part of the house as a servant. Because don't you know a servant is also part of the house? When you have a slave, the slave is part of your house. They represent your house. If your slave go out there and do some bullshit, it represents badly on you because they're like, whose slave, whose servant is this? And then he's going under your name, not his own. You know, they show you that in Spartacus, the house of Batiatus. All them gladiators represented the house of Batiatus, man. Batiatus sounds wrong. Yeah, but that the difference is that servant doesn't have an inheritance in the house, but he's part of the house. He works for the house, but it's the sons that inherit.
About the honor of being in the house.
The house doesn't want to serve my house. Hey, that's our cool black card, man.
That's what it is. About the honor of being a part of the house. That
It's
is
enough that you just get to be a part of the organization. In the mafia, you gotta be a main man. The main, and you have to have a certain lineage to be made a main man. There's some man that will work for the mafia and forever just be an associate because you have to. I believe it was two. They might have made it a bit lenient, but I believe at first two of your, or at least one of your lines had to go back to Sicily. So if you was like fucking Polish or some shit, you could only be an associate. Now you could put in work, kill who they want you to kill, make money for them, do whatever you want to do. They were never gonna make you a made man. Because you ain't, even though you were faithful to the mafia and you were a good guy, hey, the lineage ain't right, so you can't be an inheritor, you can't be a made man. That's just how it is. And that's gonna be these other nations. They're not gonna be made, man. They're just gonna be servants, man, to the children of Israel. And there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? It's not a disrespect. Ain't no more of a disrespect than a cattle on my farm. The cattle's all right. He eating grass, right? We don't muzzle the ox. He's all right. You know that deep.
Everybody got to play their role. You know what I mean? It could be worse. You could be an Edomite. That's the worst role.
And that's the thing. The Lord gave the heathen as servants to Jacob and to Yahushua,
That's their heritage.
right? Because Yahushua is the head of that kingdom, right? And the Lord has given the heathen as servants, man. There's nothing no one can do about that.
What's wrong with that?
You know? Is it you talk about serving the Most High and serving God? Don't you want to do that? Because indirectly, that's what you're doing. By serving us, you're serving the Most High's will.
Play your position.
You know? So
Know
why,
your
why,
role,
so,
bro.
so why is it one life? You know?
And because they want this equality thing. Life can't be, you can't enjoy life unless you're just equal and all this BS that they pump into these people. That's bullshit.
The rage.
That's bullshit. It's like the old age thing about the king's brother. Bro, just be the king's brother, man. It's cool. I'll be the king's brother. It's all right. You get less of the responsibilities and almost as many perks being the king's brother. But every time, bro, this man's trying to kill someone.
Everyone wants maximum attention, though.
Yeah, man. The main character. You want to be the main character. Hey, that happens so much throughout history. The king's brother, just play your position. You're the king's brother. It's all good. It's all right. You eating what he eating. You dressing good.
He's table.
You getting the women. He's trusting you. You've got a good position. There's man working in the like in there's horse hands shoveling horse shit all day. Like you ain't touching no horse shit. Oh, you on that Macbeth. You moving like Macbeth, man. But I want to be king. Bro, just chill. Be the king's brother. It's alright, man. It's cool. It's blessed still. But then if it was Sakari, bro, listen, this is what we do know. Don't ever let Alazar be your brother if you're going to be king. Don't listen. Because he can't stand that, bro. You will be dead. They will, somehow, you're going to die. The Sicario, the dagger man. Because he got to be the main character, man. He always got to be the main character, man. You know what I mean?
Like even when David, right, when he got called up to play King Saul, that was a great fucking honor, man.
Yeah.
You know, because David's household was just a meek household, man. You know, and so when David got called up, I bet his father was fucking excited. You know what I mean? I bet they're all like, wow, that's amazing. You know, but all of David was a servant.
And the Lord made David the main character, you know,
And not because he lusted after.
No.
You know,
And he wanted to serve. And he did, man, with his sword.
Okay, go on. Back in Genesis 15, verse 5, and he brought him forth and said, look now toward heaven and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. He said unto him, so shall thy seed be.
And how do we know that that's Israel? Hosea 1 and the last verse. That's that people that has the sand of the sea. That seed is a physical people, man. That's Israel.
Just to get his last bit, he believed in the Lord and he counted it to him for righteousness.
We all believe the Lord had that power to do what he was saying with his word. Just like we believe in the power to be delivered because of what the Lord said, the promise that he made. Yeah, you got that?
Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
He didn't say the number of mankind. Random selection, like it's a rebels bag of chocolates, like it's Quality Street. It's a random selection of oh man, the Israelites as the sand of the sea. Go on.
And then someone goes, so yeah, but it's the stars though. No, we don't say the stars, right? But it's just like a similitude, man. It's a like another the same thing. Just can you kind of compare the size? It's too much. You know, it's too much stars, too much sand. Because we're gonna be that great, that much in number.
If someone said that, you should just get carnal and just like,
You know, because it's not even say like, well, let's say we believe Esau, there's like a trillion billion stars out there. Fuck knows, right? Who knows, right? Is there literally that many Israelites here on the planet? No, there's not. But it just means we're gonna be great in number, you know.
Listen, there's no guarantee that your seed will prosper, you know.
Yeah.
There's many a man. Listen, King Henry VIII, yeah,
his seed got cut all the way off. Yo, his seed got cut off. Like what? How many of his children died in the womb? They either died in sons. They died in the womb, or they got sick and dropped dead. The man was suffering. The Lord just totally violated him. He was chopping off bitches' heads, trying to get wife, trying to get sons, all kind of crazy stuff. And in the end, it was his daughters, 2 daughters, which means there ain't no nation from King Henry unless he had a bastard somewhere. He's done. There's no guarantee that no man will proliferate into a people. There's no guarantee. Who's to say you're gonna have children at all? Man could, like my aunt Millie would say, in my sand 9 bars. Hey, cause there's a man out there like that. That's got sand in their balls. They're barren. Them swimmers is finished. So you ain't gonna get no sons. There's man like me got no sons. I got daughters. Seed cut up. Is what it is. Unless the Lord, you know, determine otherwise. So it is faithful when someone's telling you that your seed is gonna multiply like that. It takes faith to believe that, because well, a group of bandits could come through and just wipe out your whole family before they even become anything. Didn't that happen in Gaza? They said the Israeli airstrike wiped out 3 generations in one go. God, that's it. So where's the multiplication now? The multiplication can't happen. They're dead. You got people that have had to watch their only son die. They know it was one of the most horrible things. Imagine you got sons. Job had to see that, but then the Lord gave him back his children. So that's why it was faithful for them, because it's like the Lord's telling you, look, I'm secure in that your seed is just gonna go and go and go and go and go and multiply and multiply. That's not guaranteed to no man. Okay, so that's why it was faith. And in the kingdom of heaven, we're just going to be multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. That's why it says one shall become a nation. Because over the process of time, it's just going to be multiplying and multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. Bare branches just getting formed forever. Yeah, man, it's just going to keep going. It's never going to be cut off. They call it genocide. Now, Esau, hey, that nigga got cut off, man. Done. You know that one's there. Finished. Nothing to multiply. Done. House. 0. You can't tie 0 by any number. It's 0. No, it's done. Sanitized. Oh well. Yeah. So,
Which cannot be
they're annoying anyway, man. Vulgar and them guys, bro. They're just fucking annoying. They don't really serve much purpose. You know what I mean? It's boring, bland. You know, they're like oatmeal with no salt or like over time. I mean, yeah, this is you know, imagine eating oatmeal, yeah, but just like no salt, no sugar, no nothing. It's plain. It's plain. That's what they like, isn't it? It's plain. They're so meh. That's what the Edomites are meh anyway, man. They're meh. So just we don't need them anyway. They're not gonna be missed, innit? So let's get rid of them. Get them out of here. Suits me fine. Vocab Malone and guys like that. Just dweebs. Dorky guys, you know? With fake caps on. Go the wrong way. There you go.
yet the number of the children of Israel. There, 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
And that's what's happened. We've been lost among the nations and been given all these different names and titles. We've lost our heritage. But we're going to come back to the knowledge of who we are, man. And this is in the scriptures. And then these are the scriptures that Vocab Malone and them ignore and don't want to deal with. They don't want to deal with it. Well, fuck them. They don't have to deal with it. It's for us to believe and for them to find out. At the end of the day, we know who we are in the spirit. We are the Israelites. We're living as the Israelites should. We're in the spirit breaking these scriptures down. We got to be the Israelites, man. If you look at the rest of our people, we're a miracle, man. Because our people bugged out. And we're coming out of that. So you know it's the work of the Lord when you see brothers being diligent with the scriptures like this and not on some stupid fucking program getting rejected by 20 women or some shit. You know what I mean? Like just on social media acting dumb, doing foolishness. You know the spirit of the Lord's working for us to be moving like this, moving diligent and be getting all these spiritual pearls of wisdom. That's the Lord's doing. It's a miracle. We're not supposed to be here. This system is designed for us to basically either be full-grown Negroes or a carbon copy of Esau's stale ass. We're neither of that. We're not niggas, and we're not copying. We're not trying to be, them house niggas copying Esau. We Israelites, baby. We doing our own thing. We got our own breakdowns. We got our own elders. It's the spirit of the Lord. When I say our own breakdowns, I mean we're not taking Esau's authority. It's what God Capital wants. He just wants us to accept the white man as our spiritual authority on things. But we're not going to do that because, gay. Yeah, you ain't supposed to put no sodomite as your father, man. Good.
It shall come to pass that in the press where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
You are the sons of the living power, man. And with that comes great honor, but you also have to be humble to that. And when you're humble to that, the gravity of what does it mean? Like the Lord has really blessed you, man, with this title of being one of his sons. Then you realize that, whoa, the weight that comes with that. Because we could talk about the perks. Oh, yeah. Okay, the perks, the everlasting life. We're going to get all the blessings that the scriptures speak about, the women and all of it. That's all the perks. But then what about the responsibility and the weight that comes with that? The expectation. Because everything has perks. Boy, right now, Man United, boy, they're going to need to get rid of this Ten Hag done. But how many men have gone in there, and just crumbled? Because, when you become the manager of Man United, you're going to get the perks. You're going to get the big salary, which comes with the women, the prestige. Oh, he's the Man United manager, one of the best, biggest clubs. You're part of a history. You get to work with the best players. You get to buy the best players. They gave this pussy over 400. Wait, they give this guy 450 million. Most managers, that's a dream. That's something you do on a game. Someone's giving you 400 million to just go and buy out. You go. Oh, Real Madrid. You become manager of Real Madrid, bro. All you gotta do is go to the. I want Mbappe. I think they're getting Mbappe this summer. I heard. That's a dream. You're a manager. You can go and buy Mbappe. You can get Cristiano Ronaldo, Christian Bale, all these men. Christian Bale. What's his name? Gareth Bale. Right? But you know what comes with that? Bro, if you're given that position as Real Madrid or manager to one of these top clubs, what comes with that is the pressure to perform. You can't just get the job and now I got all these perks and then bro. Them man are expecting you to get it right. They're expecting you to perform. They're expecting you to do what they hired you. To live up to that position, that status that you have coveted. And a lot of men crumble. Especially if you came there just thinking about the perks and not understanding that, boy, I've got to do this job. Well, you got to look at it like being the son of the Most High. There is no higher title on earth. What is the demand for that title? Can you get that be perfect? That's two places in the scripture. Yahweh Shai said it, and it was also in Exodus. If you want to be perfect,
the expectation and the weight of being the son of God is perfection. So when you come into this truth, it's crazy that's on you, and that keeps you humble, because then you realize that, bro, I've got a long way to go to live up to this thing. This is bigger than being the Man United manager or the Real Madrid manager. I'm representing the Most High as His Son on earth. Damn. Wow. That's massive. Takes time. Even now, you don't really understand how deep that is. To be blessed to be a part of that.
That's why you do everything in fear and trembling.
And that's what a little punished eyes so much. You got it? Yeah.
Verse Matthew 5:48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
No, that's weight. Even there's a heavy weight on us to be perfect. There's a massive gravity with being this road. But the thing is, we are going to meet it. And that's what Yahweh Shai has allowed us to do. Through the New Testament, we're going to be perfected. We're going to reach that perfection that the Lord demands, that the Lord has always demanded. But you got guys who don't have that perfection, and they just proud, and all they care about is, I'm a Judite or I'm an Israelite, and they wear it with pride, but with no substance. It's just like you get these, the number one thing out there, you get these, I'm a king. But bro, you don't act like a king. You just want to be called a king and get the perks of being a king, but you don't have the actions of a king. Oh, I'm a queen. That's the biggest thing. If we're gonna take the queen as meaning a royal female, but you act like a whore. So how do we? So you want to be royal, right? You want all the perks that come with. You want to be treated well and all the treatments, but then you act like a nasty, low down, dirty, a piece of what that's living in the streets. And that's why our people are messed up. They want to be these things that have that status, but don't understand the responsibility and the gravity that comes with those titles. And that's where because humility comes in, and you're like, yo, I've got a lot that I need to live up to.
They call that discipline saying. So it's the detached from reality, man. All these things with you.
What they really mean, man.
It's supposed to be. There's just things they like to call themselves to make themselves feel good, But they're far from even achieving something like that. Even though they've got the men that know that they're trying to guide them to be better. They don't want to. They don't want to be better. They don't want to be told what to be.
They want the praise, man. They want all the benefits, none of the responsibilities.
Satan just.
God,
Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, or a light seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate branch of a strange vine unto me?
that's why I detox of social. You know what social media does, right? Social media shows you the worst of our people, because social media is designed to highlight. Because, like, if you just walk around, depending on where you live, if you just walked around on a normal day, half of the shit you see on social media, you wouldn't run into anyone like that or see that. What social media does is things that go viral is literally the worst denominator. You understand what I'm saying? Like why? Like Sexy Red. There's a lot of artists out there, right? There's lots of female musicians. They're not all like Sexy Red, but Sexy Red is on the forefront. If you're controversial and dumb, this is what gets pushed out there through the algorithms. So you consume that, man. And when you see this stuff, man, you're like, raw, these are Israelites, and these people are actually beastly, they're messed up. And I can't watch it all day. Even brother send me some shit. A lot of time I don't even watch it. I'm like, listen, I need to protect my peace right now. I can't just be sitting there watching these crazy niggas. Like, it's not healthy. Video after video of these crazy niggas. I gotta keep these niggas away from me to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be vexed all the time. But it's true. When you see it, like, you're like, bro, we're meant to be the people of the Most High. And look at how these motherfuckers are acting. They're like beasts. Degenerate. Absolutely degenerate behavior. That's unbecoming. But they're the seed of Abraham. They're physically the seed of Abraham. But would you no, it's not what you expect, you know? So we gotta do better, man. And that's what this ministry is for. It starts with us that believe. But you gotta actually believe, man, and be humble and walk that path and try and get away from that old man. Right? Niggas wanted to be rappers and gangsters, and they come into this truth with the same energy, man. They want to be superstars. They want to be famous. They want to get the likes. They want to be influencers. That's basically what these niggas are. They're like influencers. They want to be influencers, like how the world got influencers. And then one thing you know about influencers, they're fake people because really they're just there to be influencers. They're not there to be have any form of integrity about anything they do. How many of them vegan influencers got exposed that they're not even vegans? Because it didn't matter to them. They found an avenue to get the fame and the money that they want, and they're just playing a role and their main character in it, man. You got all these fitness guys, fake. The Rock, the Rock's whole life is an act. You think that guy at the age he is that big and he ain't on steroids? Yeah, I just wake up at 4 in the morning, clanging and banging. And then they asked him, well, what do you eat, yeah? And what he said he ate was literally impossible. It's physically impossible to eat like that. No one can do that, man. No, what you're doing, The Rock, is you're taking steroids so you can look the part that you're pretending to be. Fake. So many influencers are fake. They fake crying. They fake events. If they at first, even if they're real, but after they got to fake it. Fake events, fake this, fake that.
It's content. Because they have to keep up with content, right? So yeah, you're forced to do it.
Yeah, man. It's a sad world. We're here to be have integrity and be honest about what we're doing, man. You know, that's the truth of the matter. Be honest about what you're doing. We're not here to act like we're Hebrew Israelites, act like we're men of the Lord, and act like we're the chief priests.
And that's the good thing about this, man. It's not that we're not being monetized and things like that because these people want to keep their money rolling, right? So they have to force content and to keep forcing it.
And the validation.
Yeah, but we're not out for it. We're not here for that. We do it of our own position, so to speak, spirit. We just pump out these videos day in, day out, week after week, whatever, because that's what we're on. That's what we're about. We're not worried about income streams stopping because we ain't got that. We ain't got to worry about fame and fortune because it's not what we're at.
Get that in Thessalonians, man. Preach. No, is that no? Teach the word in season and out season. It's not about the shalams and the likes and all, which is great. That's all good. Shalom, brother. Hey, shalom. But we don't do this thing for the validation of the people, so that we could get as many views as possible and have people on our live chat going, yeah, cheerleading. It's not about that. If you agree, good. But we're not here for that. The apostles and elders were out there teaching when nobody was watching for years. Diligent. Nobody's watching. It weren't until a certain point where the Lord brought in a whole bunch of men. For the longest while, the elders are telling you that's why they were excited. Because there was a long while where they were just going out there and teaching, and they weren't getting no fruit. But what did that tell you? The fact that they persevered, they weren't out there. That's why they don't rap to kick a man out, because they're not here. They're not here for the likes and the. They're really here for the truth of this thing, man, with integrity. I just gotta say it like it is.
So 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2, it says, preach the word, be in season, out of season.
That's why we go out in the summer and we go out in the winter. When it's cold, whatever it is, we keep that consistency of doing this work, man. Whether anyone's listening or not or whatever, we're just gonna keep doing what we're supposed to be doing, and the Lord will do the rest.
We're not out here looking for anything from nobody.
You got these IUIC guys take the winter off. And at one point, these men started to say, oh, we're snow dummies because we're out here in the cold. But then, if I could go work for Esau in the cold, then why can't I come out and do the work of the Lord in the cold? Is it because you're not getting paid? Because I guarantee you, if I was paying you $40 an hour to come out here and teach, you'd be coming out in the cold,
your boots on. If your woman wanted to go out ice skating in the middle of winter in New York in some outdoor ice rink, I'm sure you'd be out there, especially if you I know what the problem is. Lack of integrity and humility is the servitude that the Lord that you signed up for.
This is in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort, all long suffering and doctrine.
All long suffering and doctrine, man. And it ain't always going to be nice, and you're not always going to have like people been talking shit about us for years, calling us bums, calling us rapists. Now this nigga's calling us little niggas. They got the most to say about us, but we don't.
What do we want them? Stop doing this work, or who won't listen to us? You should already know, man. You can't do nothing. You know, you
Yeah,
can't do nothing, man.
like the apostles, man. People have constantly gone at them and said shit about them, make parody videos and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you don't matter. The only validation you really need in this truth is the validation in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, making sure that you're doing what's right. You know, a lot of these guys are living off these zombie followers that are validating them, just like these influencers. You know, got a group. As long as you got a group of people that's cheerleading you, no matter what bullshit you do, just keep the movie going. Innit? Yeah, man. So we had to talk about that today, about the humility, man. And it's really for all the brothers, but mainly you young guys coming in, because it's really a snare, especially when you start learning of the young man. It's a young man's snare, you know, to come in and not find your place, man. Your time will come. If the Lord has some, whatever the Lord has for you, you will receive it. But everything has to come in its time, and there's no fast tracking in any walk of life. But especially in this truth, there's no fast track. There's no fast track, man. Do what you got to do in sincerity and take the time to understand what you're doing and serve the Lord. And the Lord, in due time, will exalt you where you need to be, wherever it is that you're supposed to be. And not everybody is going to be at the top, and that's okay. No?
It's in Galatians 1, verse 10. But do I now persuade men of God, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Yahweh Shai.
That's right. That's right. That's what it is. You try and please men, and the number one man is yourself. You try and please other guys and feign the words and make things palatable to people to get their validation, and you're going off. You're going off. And he did that. He did that with the so-called rape doctrine, man. Because he didn't want to take that kind of heat, because it's a raw heat. He didn't want to take it. But he's a gangster. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're a gorilla. You ain't that much of a gorilla, then, are you? Made yourself look stupid and even polite. Was like, what's this guy on? Stand 10 toes, innit? Oh, do that one. Ephesians 4 and we start to say, he that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens. That's the main character. The main character, Yahweh Shai, man. Not the chief priest. Yeah. Right. That he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints. Right, for the perfecting of the saints. This ministry is all about the perfecting of the saints. You know, teaching through the Spirit, that we learn and we grow spiritually. Okay, go on. For the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Amasha. The body of whose body is it? And that further proves that Yahweh Shai is the main character. Is it the body of Al-Azhar? Is it the body of Great Millstone? It's not the body of Great Millstone. It's the body of Yahweh Shai. It's his thing. Don't ever forget that. This is Yahweh Shai's thing, and you're being blessed to have an opportunity to serve him in it, to play a part, to play a role. You ain't Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Hey, that's why Dwayne couldn't handle it. He went into Fast and Furious, which is Vin Diesel thing, and tried to take it over and ruined it, man. He's got the, he went into DC, tried taking over with Black Adam and flopped because he wanted to be Superman. He turned Black Adam into Superman. Destroyed everything. That guy's a narcissist, man. But you know one thing about The Rock? He's the biggest actor because even though he's a narcissist of the highest degree, when he's in his interviews, right, he acts like he's the most humble. Like if you watch the interview with him and he hates Joe Rogan. He openly hates him, yeah. But when he went on Joe Rogan, they both sat there and acted like all their history never happened because of the content. And they were using each other for the content. So Rock was pretending that he was this likable, nice guy, and it's The Rock. The Rock's an asshole, man. He's a straight up narcissist of the highest level. Man, this is what the world produces, man. Just fake people, man. Main character syndrome, no humility. That's why in The Rock's films, right? He found out that Vin Diesel had a clause in his contract that he's never allowed to lose a fight in a movie, right? So when The Rock, if you look at The Rock Fast 5, The Rock actually did a good job. He good acting, and he lost the fight. When The Rock found out, he started putting that clause in any of his films. So if you look at every 5 after Fast 5, in his clause, he's only allowed to take a couple punches to the face, and he's never allowed to lose a fight. That's why in The Rock's films, it's always just him, unstoppable robot, and it's just boring to watch because of his ego. He can't allow himself to play a role where anyone gets the better of him or he looks vulnerable in any way. Because he's a narcissist. Ego, man. Man, these people, man, but that's what Hollywood does to you, turn you into a damn egotistical, narcissistic. Now, if you look at a guy like Tom Cruise, he always makes good product, and he don't do all that bullshit. His thing is, I'm gonna make a good film. And that's why his Mission Impossibles are always good, because his main thing is character and making a good product, not his ego. I can't get punches in the face. Man, Tom be on the shit, man. Tom will do whatever it takes, man. His own stunts, everything, man. You do whatever it takes. That's why you see that clip where he was cursing man's out during COVID and all that. Yeah, he's a real dude, man. When's the last time The Rock made a good film? Anyway,
till we all come in the unit of the faith and of the knowledge of the sons of Mosiah.
because we're all going to reach the same level of perfection. It's about a path. And we're all going to be brought through that unity and that perfection which is in Yahweh Shai. And that's what the new covenant is all about. Now, we're not all going to be on the same level because they're still going to have the 145. There's going to be order, but we're all going to be perfected, which is enough, right? We're going to be saved. We're going to be perfected. Is that not enough?
And where we are right now, it's a blessing.
For some of these man, it ain't even enough for them to be the 144. Hey, I'd be the 144. Hey, I'll just be in the 1/3. These man, it ain't enough. Listen, I gotta be David.
It's just to be a part of it is enough.
Oh, this guy Ashan, he made his whole camp for the 12 apostles. and he's David.
You know what
No, actually, he's
David.
David. He's David.
You know what it was?
The main character, man.
The 12 apostles, the wicked one.
Yeah. The alternate Earth. Yeah. The Injustice League, but that's what man is.
Shit.
Man said they didn't know that this brother's his equal. So what's wrong with this dude? Let's just do that now. Let's just start. Hey, brother, you're Jeremiah, man. What's some names that we could throw out there so we could transport ourselves into elite status. You know them kids when you play, I'm Jordan. I'm Jordan. You know, Everybody wants to be goated, but in a year, you know, man. Just relax yourself, bro. Yeah, the fast track. I'm Jeremiah. There you go. Oh, that dude lost it. I come with the new wine. Yeah, well, you know, I've been away for 2 years. You guys thought I would have fell off. And man come with a booklet. That's the new wine. Man, just, yeah, because you went and rewrote a whole new doctrine so you could say you brought it out. You got main character syndrome. You literally rewrote the whole doctrine so that you could be the one to bring it to everyone. Do you know how crazy and narcissistic you have to be to do that? Yeah, get apostleships out, man. Niggas just came in the truth like yesterday, declaring that fishing season's over. Like, who are you? What's going on? The new wine. Hey, that main characterism, man, it's a sad thing. Fuck. The new Bacchus. That rock got, man, that fire water, man. Anyway, go on.
Uh, and of the knowledge of the Son of Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of a Mashiach.
And that's what we're looking forward. That's what we're aiming for. To be cleansed spiritually and then transformed into the full stature which is in Yahweh Shai, which is to be truly worthy and and perfected as one of the sons of the Heavenly Father. In order. Just stay humble, man. Stay humble and it'll be all right. The scripture already said the meek are going to inherit the earth. So focus on being meek. Like, what's this all about? I'm David. I'm Moses. Next thing you know, that man to say, I'm Yahweh Shai. That's how they're going to be. Man rewrote the Hebrew. Bro, the man rewrote the Hebrew. Now, if this ain't main character syndrome, he just took the whole doctrine, yeah, and said, you know what? I need to be the one to, like, it's me. I'm the chosen one. He reorganized the whole earth. Reorganized the whole earth.
Theology is different now.
Man invented new nations, the eco people. Man just, he's amazing. He walking behind people. He see everything. He got the eyes. The man is just, he's amazing, man. He got every gift the Most High can give. Wow. Man's like one punch man. After like 1,000, like it's a cartoon. Anyway, yeah, if you got any more scriptures, go close up. Yeah. So man, there's plenty of example, and these guys are coming out of the woodwork. Ashan, Alazar, all these guys, they just got main character syndrome, and they're filled with pride. But they're good examples of how not to be. Just stay the course, stay humble.
Yeah. First Timothy 4:1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times
Oh yeah.
some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits.
It's like that's what happened to Macbeth. There's a whole book about pride and greed and narcissism, because Macbeth was a knight. He had a king, a kingdom. He was respected, and them three witches, man, them demons came up in his ear and promised him the crown. But what did he end up with? A grave and shame. Him and his wife. His wife was in on it too. And Macduff, killed his ass righteous. The demons come in and start giving you that, you're the man. You're the guy. You know what's right. The spirit's dealing with you. He's just crazy. You get lost in the sauce.
Giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrine of devils.
The doctrine of devils, man. Start going off. All right, can we get one more scripture? Sorry. Romans, the 1st chapter. Men shall be lovers of themselves, man. And that's Alazar, man. That's why he want to look good, man. That's why he want to put the fitty on. Hey, listen, man. Listen, we all want to look good, man. I'm telling you straight. This brother will tell you, man. I want to smell good. You know how we do. I'm gonna get the designer things. You know what I'm saying? The proper. I know you. The man say GMS wear bums. I don't give a fuck what you man got to say. I gotta smell good, blood. I'll be putting on my nice thing, like nice jacket. You know, yeah, brothers ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you wanna walk around looking like a bum all the time. You know what I'm saying? So brothers be getting nice things sometimes when you can afford it or when you can get it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Get a nice cap on. What's that got to do with the truth? Because of that vanity, now you want to change up the doctrine. Yeah, Romans 1. You men shall be lovers. It is Romans. Oh, no, it's not, is it? Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Men shall be lovers of themselves. Sorry, it's not Romans. Yeah, Timothy. Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's Timothy. Yeah, man. That narcissism.
It was also speaks about denying yourself.
Yeah, but I bought that head and sit down at it.
Yeah.
They said deny yourself and pick up your cross, man.
You know, the things that you want for yourself, man. Hey, man. Hey, you have to. Yeah, like we all. Like how much I has to wait. So we all have to wait until that time comes when we be exalted like that. Right to receive that glory. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, and verse 1 says, know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Narcissism, man. That self-centered narcissism, man. It's disgusting, man. Stay away from that.
Covetous. They want the top spot.
They want the top
Head
spot.
seat.
They want the top seats. They want all the praise and the acclaim. That's why he said it himself. Y'all, everybody on the Tahara are just little niggas. That shows you how he thinks. He only respects the dog at the top. That's why he couldn't play that role. He didn't want to play that role. That's why there was always a problem with this guy in his camp with the elders, because he don't want to play his role under no one. He got to be the top dog, but then he want people under him. And you guys under him don't see that he has disdain for you. He's letting you know, listen, if you ain't the top dog, I don't respect you. You a little nigga.
Stepping stone. This is boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents,
There you go, man.
unthankful, ungrateful,
man.
ungratefulness, man.
Yeah,
Unholy.
unholy. Yeah. Even though you call yourself the chief priest, but you're not holy, bro. Going to a club, having a function in a club. A young ass fucking priest, I don't know what the fuck he's doing with, that probably would have got himself. If he was in the ancient world, he one of them niggas that would have got himself killed. And that's why you couldn't perform the office until you were like, I believe one of the offices was 25 and the other one was 30. For a reason. Because you don't want to put a young man in certain situations, man, because they might do some stupid like him. And walk up in the temple with a fitted cap on and get hit with a light bulb.
Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors.
That's why he keep going on at Elder Yashawamba, man. He's a better man than you. He despises it, man.
Says traitors, heady, high-minded,
Heady.
lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God,
having
a form of godliness but denying the power thereof, from such turn away.
That's it. That's that. You stay away from them guys, man. You see the spirit they're coming with. You see that what they're on. Now them dudes, man. And stick with the men that you see that are keeping it keeping it real. You know what I mean? Right. So yeah, man. With that, say call halal,
Yahweh, Hashem,
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honor to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word. Shalom to you brothers and sisters listening and learning and supporting the ministry. Shalom.